Yep. That team is not the same team. That's not a better team than the team that they had at the beginning of the season.
Not at
That was
all.
not the
No,
same team. Much worse. They sacrificed defense, a couple of playmakers. Now it's left up to LeBron and Kevin Love. And
man.
I
I'm
tell you
watching
what,
this shit
Kevin.
now. It looked like they didn't already lost the game, man. If you see their body language, this shit sad as
Kevin
fuck,
Love,
man. These motherfuckers.
he stopped. If Kevin Love went to the paint, he made things happen. He stopped going to the paint. He stopped scoring like that. He was going to the paint,
Man.
going in the paint, bodying people in there.
You know what?
I
I
thought
was
they would
I
stay
was
with
I
that.
was I was never big on Kevin Love anyway.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Me
I'm really
neither. I'm
not.
not sold on him. Do
Yeah,
something. Power forward playing the paint. He's taking
he
too many
too
3 pointers.
inconsistent, man. That's his problem.
Didn't he come from Minnesota? Did he come from Minnesota?
Yep. Straight from
Uh,
Minnesota. Yep.
damn. Dude
Yeah, I'm
singing
not sold
now.
on him. He's not. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, did y'all
Yeah.
finish the video shoot last week?
Yeah. We wanted to finish it for what it was. He gonna holler at Rod and see what's up at the end of it, man. The drink, like I said, we just had fun with that joint, man.
What's up, Mr. Wallace?
What up? What up, though?
That's the homie. What up,
What,
man?
Wallace?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Ain't too much, man. Ashley, on a Friday night, you know how I do.
Hey, no lotion allowed, man. No lotion
Right,
allowed.
Good.
born and bred,
It's
yeah.
good to talk to y'all, man.
Right.
How you doing, Wallace?
I heard
I'm
some.
doing good, man.
I heard some
All right,
future
good to hear,
classics
my
on the
brother.
radio today.
Future what?
Some future classics on the radio today.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
What? One of
tell?
our joints
Who tell?
played or something?
Have you
Shit.
have you heard the new what's this dude's name? What's
I thought they
Ty Dolla
leaked
Sign,
some dirty
Jeremiah.
old men.
what's the guy who sang oh man, it's not Mario.
In a million.
I'm about to say,
Jeremiah, Ty
I'm on the
Dolla
call.
Sign.
No,
No, it ain't me.
who's the guy who's half Mexican, half black? The singer, Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel, yeah.
Have you heard his new joint?
Nah, but they coming
What's it
out with a
called?
joint though.
I heard the
It's
tape.
that time of year too.
They'll always stay consistent too.
It sounds like
Mhm.
he's singing over a beat made for Tribe Called Quest.
Miguel's a hit song waiting to happen, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he make that
he
morning
got
after
good
pill
A&R
music.
work.
Yeah. And
This
niggas
would
looking
have
for the
been
morning
10,
after
15 years
pill.
ago. He'd have
Getting
been
caught up in the
he
field.
would have been a superstar. 10, 15 years ago, he'd have been a big star.
Oh yeah, you talking about when Ricky Martin was popping?
Yep. Him and
Yeah.
He's pretty huge. He's pretty huge right now. I mean, I think as far as R&B acts, he definitely in the top 5 in terms of popularity right now.
You think so?
Yeah.
Whenever he drops something,
Yeah.
yeah, people flock to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that record with Travis Scott earlier this year. That shit exploded.
He like automatically going to sway. Whenever he drops some shit, he just fall through there, and it ain't no problems.
Skydiving or whatnot.
Man,
The
he's
fuck is this? Oh, this is a PlayStation commercial. I was like, what the fuck they running to?
right. His new joint, as Dixie was
Sell,
saying.
I don't watch TV.
I just got rid of my
Yeah,
What these
I
whippersnappers
believe it
doing?
though. I believe it. I think I heard it. I don't. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
And
Okay.
J. Cole is rapping on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what?
definitely heard
I
it.
actually rock with Cole's album though. A lot of people ain't say too much about
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah, his
He
album.
got some
His
joints.
album, like that ain't
You know
coming
what?
off the phone for a while.
I'm gonna tell you another album to check out is it's a female named Georgia Smith from England who just dropped a project. She was on the Black Panther soundtrack, and she's been kind of making inroads in the UK underground for a while, and it's real cold.
Hey,
Georgia Smith.
I've fallen in love with that song from Black Panther, the one they play at the end. Whoever sings that, like, I fall in love with that song now.
SZA,
You know what? I still haven't
all
heard that
all the
soundtrack
stars.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just
Oh my God.
just now starting to like that song.
So then it's stupid for me to assume that y'all have heard the Cudi album and
No, I
Kanye
haven't.
then.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Okay. It's a Cudi album. You know, and Cudi is one of them guys that people either like or they don't like.
Yeah,
And
but I like
the thing
music
that's
like that though.
impressive, yeah, the thing that's impressive to me about the whole thing is Kanye is giving the artists music that's within their lane
But
really well so
that
far. So
shit,
I'm really interested to hear what that
eh,
Nas here sound like.
you know, them beats. I ain't, you know, I ain't
Right,
a
but
fan. I ain't gonna even lie.
it's their
It's them
lane.
though.
It's their
Yeah,
lane though.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's them.
yeah, definitely. So
Eh,
But what is he gonna give Nas?
I think he gonna
mm-mm.
give him some Rock Marciano sound and shit. That's what I think. I can't see Nas rapping over some Life of Pablo type Kanye
Hell
halfway
no.
trap with like weird ass shit in it. I don't see him doing that. I just don't see him doing that. I just really don't. I mean,
Yeah.
it would do him a disservice. I think that subconsciously everybody in hip hop is waiting. Not rap over. Hold on, oops, my phone. I think
I was
everybody
about to
is just
say yeah.
waiting for real, legitimate, gritty, sample type shit. That's what I think. You know,
Hmm.
and that's what I think he gonna do. I think the. I mean, I don't love. Let me see. I don't really love anything that. I mean, none of the projects that's been put out are perfect, but
Hmm.
on a larger scale, and then you got the whole cadre of people that's just really not fucking with Kanye just because of that whole political shit. And
Hmm.
I still listen to the beats. I still listen to the craftsmanship, you know. But it's
I
hit or
can dig it.
miss. It's definitely hit or miss. It's some joints on that Pusha. It's a joint or two on that Kanye. I think the Kanye album is the worst out of the three that's come out.
Wow.
Mm. I haven't heard it,
Real
so
talk.
you know, none the
Real
wiser.
talk. Real talk. The thought is crazy. Fonte finally dropped a video for "So Help Me God." You know, it's a good time for music.
It is.
Word.
Vietnam got new music. It's a good time. Speaking of, I gotta talk to Jay Bishop. Them niggas
Woo.
murdered one of Jay Bishop's instrumentals yesterday on
Word.
general principle. Yes,
Mm.
yes. I just played it. It was just crazy.
All right. So
So
the first topic
yeah, man,
I want to talk about is if you could
that's it.
if you could do a Golden State Warriors team of producers, who would be your top five? And I want to say I didn't bite wide body on it. Did you have something like this on your show?
Say what?
Talking about wide body. I don't even know if he's still there right now.
I think he left.
Okay.
So
What is it?
in terms of they
Like like
in terms of their individual roles,
yeah, like you know how they're beating everybody. What top five producers right now are beating everybody?
Mm, that's rough.
mm,
I don't know. But wide body didn't have nothing like this on his show though.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge. And I've
in
been there
terms of
for
like
a
what
lot
we
of
listen to, or just
overall. I
in
would say.
general, the bigger scope of black music, or
Biggest,
what we
yeah,
primarily feed into.
the biggest scope of black music.
Mm, um, wow. You know, it's funny, but you don't really have right now. You know, you don't have a lot of. It's not a monopoly. I think people are literally getting beats from all over the place for these recent projects that have come out. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
Mitchell
I
said
look
he knows
at
somebody that did bubbling. You know the dude that did bubbling for
okay,
Pop,
okay,
Anderson Pop.
exactly.
And that
Oh,
shit
You
go.
know,
that was
you
what's his name? Not Jelani. The
you
same
got your
dude.
Metro Boomin.
No,
And
it's the same
you
dude
know,
who did Beamer Benza Bentley, Lloyd Banks, that guy. The Lil B.
Oh, okay.
The Lil B.
Okay. Where you from?
Philly.
Okay. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, that
like
bubbling joint. Go. That's my
I
shit right
really
now. My
can't.
bad, Wallace. Go
Like
ahead.
I really couldn't. I really wouldn't be able to tell you. As far as answering your question, you would have to put somebody in it, like a Metro Boomin type cat. Um, I think that you would have to put Digiphonics in it as a almost as an entity, like as a group. That's you know, Dahi and Soundwave and them TDE niggas. You got to put them there. You got to put like Metro Boom in there. And I'm trying to think from a hip hop perspective, you know, and I'm just looking at projects from the last 3 to 4 months that have really gained a lot of prominence when we talk about black music overall. I think you still got to put, unfortunately, and a lot of people would disagree with it, especially because of what's happened the last month. You might have to put Kanye in it in terms of somebody who has a lot of material that's really cultivating a lot of attention and cultivating a lot of discussion. I think obviously you got to put him up there. But in terms of overall, for me, when you look at the Warriors, they all have different roles. Like when you look at Klay Thompson defers. Klay Thompson is not a person that seeks out a great deal of attention. He just is very, very consistent. Very, very consistent. Like almost like a Pete Rock type. Yeah, you know, it's like somebody who just when they're dependent on to drop a record, or somebody has a record that's produced by Pete Rock, you may not know exactly what it's gonna sound like, but you know it's gonna be right.
You know it's gonna be right, yeah.
So who right now is the fucking Steph Curry of production?
Wow.
Like killing
so somebody that pretty much just has hits from everywhere. Somebody that can just hit from anywhere. Just, no matter what artist they with, no matter what the situation, it's gonna touch something. Pause.
To me, it's gonna be Kanye, Just Blaze, or Jake One.
I go with either one of those two over Kanye.
But I wouldn't be mad if you put somebody over Kanye.
That's what I'm saying. I put those two over Kanye. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the thing about Stephen Curry, like I said, is he can hit from anywhere. And I think these projects have shown, like I was saying earlier, he has the capacity to meet artists where they are and be effective, be relatively effective. Now, people may dislike it, but they may dislike Kanye's music overall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just like people don't think
like
that
808s and Heartbreaks kind of started it for me. What was it? My Dark Twisted Fantasy was first, or 808?
No, 808s. That was like 08, 07 or something like that.
I've been good on Kanye since then.
Yeah. But see, the thing that you have to appreciate about Kanye, to me, is the fact that he always finds a way to embed, even though you may not like the shit, in terms of the ethic, the ethos that we use in terms of sampling and stuff like that, he always finds a way to find bugged out ass fucking samples and making it like a very key element of the joint. He has a record on this Cudi album that samples a joint from, I want to say it's like the 30s. It's a Christmas song, and by every metric by which we mix, you know, the voice in it, it's loud as fuck, but it's hypnotic. It just does something. It just does something that's real strange, and it's tight. Yeah, right.
Here's the thing with Kanye albums. Like, did he produce anything on the fourth album?
On which album? The fourth album, 808s?
I mean, no. I mean, My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Did he produce anything on that album?
Yeah, he did. He produced a lot of it. And now, mind you, keep in mind, versus Beatmaker, it may be a situation where he didn't tap pads on everything, but it's clear and obvious that he was the one that was adding things, tweaking knobs, or having things added to by other producers.
Because
He had some joints that.
Bink had the
Go
best
ahead.
beat on that album.
Without question. But
Dark
Bink made the beat, the drums, programming, the bass line, this, that, and the third. But it was Kanye or Kanye's influence that added the big crescendo and guitars and all that at the end, and this, that, and the third. It might have been Mike Dean that might have been playing it, but it was him that was directing it. But it was him directing the record. It was still him directing it.
But did he get co-production credit on that?
Who, Mike Dean? Yeah,
No,
because yeah,
Kanye.
Yeah,
If Kanye did nothing to the song, then I mean, I don't see why we giving them these
because producing records is a lot more than making the beat.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? It's structure, is, you know what I'm saying, directing the record, directing the creation of the record. It's not just whether or not he put, you know this. It's not just whether he play the bass line and this, that, and the third. So if he's directing the record, he's owed some kind of production rights for it. At least in my sense. That's why Diddy may not have ever made an actual beat, but he's a great producer. He's not a great beat maker. Now you have people like Pete Rock that may be a great beat maker and a great producer if he's directing the record being made. So this is something to consider.
Or would you consider directing the record being at the helm or just contributing?
I would say it's being at the helm because I'll put it like this. When if somebody sends me stems for a record, and if they want it structured exactly as it is and I mix the record. But if I take those stems, and obviously with communication with the original producer, if I craft a record around those stems, oh my God, he hit it. If I craft a record around those stems, I'm actually producing the record. Correct. I didn't make the beat.
Correct. But
so that's what I'm saying. I think Kanye does that. I think Dre does that. I think Diddy does that. I think a lot of the cats, I think Timberland does that. I think it's not always just about actually making the beat. That's just me.
But that's a reason why a cat like hell, how y'all doing out there? What up? That's why I do like Dilla never gave niggas his Pro Tools, because in his mind he had it pretty much how he wanted it. And but Busta always talks about like, man, you wasn't gonna get the Pro Tools from this dude. Like, you get that 2-track. And that was it. If you was working with him, you'd get mixed and mastered with him. But like, if he outsourcing work, you're gonna get that 2-track already how it's supposed to be, and that's pretty much it.
But let me ask you this: even if you send that 2-track, damn, it's a big ass deer in my yard. If you send that 2-track and somebody crafts a song around it, be it, you know what I'm saying, vocally, they don't do anything extra to the beat. But if somebody crafts the vocals around it and makes a song out of it, you don't believe that person deserves some kind of co-production?
No, because because I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of times people they're banking on that. They're banking on something to like reconfigure for their own sake. Like I'm trying to think of who that was, and I've had this happen to me before, and where I've had the piece of work tailor made for the artist and how they wanted it structured, but somebody else will go in and because they had a bright idea, they want to go in and do this, and I'll be like, yo, chop it over, I'm like, what's good? Like, yeah, man, I heard you did this right here, whatever, but hey, check this out, take that shit out. Because that's not how I wanted it. So and I've had it happen to me before. Now I've done work with another producer before, to where I've added something to a track that he did. Now, by me doing so, I gave him the heads like, yo, I'm gonna send you this track back. I did something extra to it. Let me know what you think. And I said, if you don't like it, you can erase it. I just wanted to see what you thought about it. He keeping it for his project. But what I told him to do, I said, listen, I don't want no credit for that. I just thought it needed something that was missing. And, I don't want any credit for it. That's all you. But he still gave he gave me credit for it, but it was a credit that I didn't want. I just was fucking around, really. But I can see how a cat will take that personal, because if I'm giving you pretty much how I want something structured, you don't take the liberty upon yourself to do something that I didn't authorize, or that I didn't give my blessing to. Because if an artist working with me was to say, yo, I think you're missing this right here. Is there some kind of way you can do this to that? I don't have no problem redoing that, because that's my baby right there. You know what I'm saying? And now if I'm not able to do such a thing, if I'm not the best guitar player or the keys, I can outsource that to somebody who, and I can give them credit for that. But co-producer credit for it, that's a stretch.
Now, I would say this. I think amongst producers. Oh, right. I was about to say amongst producers, I think that's something that's kind of taken lightly, depending on where you are as far as where you feel you are in the game. Where that's what they do their bread and butter, they ain't gonna want you to do that shit. Now, I had this instance happen with an artist where I winded up recording their vocals. They had a track, and it was their track. Whoever winded up mixing the track switched around the way that the vocals actually came in, as far as like who went first, second, or whatever. And the thing was, they said to me like, "Oh, that's fucked up," and I'm looking at them like, you know how I look. I was looking at them like, "Fuck you telling me for? I ain't doing. You better tell the nigga that mixed the motherfucker." But you get what I'm saying? It's like if it seems like how can I put this? The folks that's talking on the mic, whether singing or rapping, they're considered divas when it comes to this music shit. But they also kind of ensure their longevity or their demise because they speak up for shit. You get what I'm saying? Where the folks that do the beats tend to kind of be like, oh, well, I'm going to just kind of take the high road and shit because I understand how hard it is for us. And it's like, man, fuck all that subservient shit.
But
you know what I'm saying?
To play devil's advocate, when you
no doubt.
When you sell a beat to somebody, they can do what they want with it.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not talking about in that sense.
I'm not talking about
now, if you sell it and you do whatever, I'm talking about like you actually got the person. It was the person that got the song or whatever. Now the person that was mixing the song, they had a verse on there, but you mixing it for this dude that already had the track or whatever. Man, he flipped around the motherfucking vocals. Dude called me. He was like, yeah, did you do it? I said, nigga, did I mix it? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So it's
but I agree with Wallace too, to where if that's going to be something that happens, the lines of communication got to be open.
Need to be open. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's really it with a lot of shit.
It's paramount, right? But that, especially when we dealing with somebody's art, it's paramount that you have that line of communication, because, like I said, I've had it happen before where I get to the studio and I'm like, oh yeah, that's dope, that's cool and all, but that ain't what I.
Let's keep it fishing rod real though. If that shit happened to you and you don't speak up,
oh yeah,
that's on you.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you have to. It's like if you saw somebody slap your child, you ain't gonna sit back and just take that shit unless it's your mama or somebody slapping for a good reason.
I was about to say.
if my mom slapped my daughter, it's gotta be for a good reason. But I ain't finna walk up and see my next door neighbor slap my daughter, and I'm like, well, you know what? You shouldn't have probably been mouthing off. Nah, right. I'm gonna fuck you up first. Then I'm gonna ask her I'm gonna ask my daughter why she gets slapped like that.
Right.
So keeping it completely 100. I've done that. I've done that. That's what I'm saying. I've done that, and I don't know whether.
Did you have a moment?
Just keep. Hold on.
I'm fucking with you.
just keeping it completely 100. When we did the big album, and people sent me their stems, there were liberties that I took with people's stems in making a record. You understand what I'm saying? Now there were some people who I had conversation with beforehand, and I said, those terms in that process was very clear. And there were some that I didn't. So hold on, let me finish. So then when I did Chicago Fire, that's when I started having that conversation. Like, tell me what you want. If you send me your 2-track, the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna EQ it and do what I gotta do. If you send me your stems, if you just want your stems mixed, I'm just gonna mix your stems, which I did. Like with Wide Body's record with what was that? Wide Body's record with Hippie and Mental on it.
Yeah.
I ended up putting vocals on it. They ended up taking liberties with it in terms of doing different things. I didn't like add sounds to it or anything. I just tried to mix the stems as good as possible and did a couple mutes during vocals and all that. So by the time we got to the third project, the Nas project, it was a situation where it was more so like, this is what I'm doing. This is the change that I'm making. How do you feel about it? To keep it funky, I sent Mav, I mixed your record and sent it to you. And you said, you know what? It don't crack like I want it to crack. So what did we end up doing? We ended up using your 2-track and kept it moving. So it was my growth as a producer to be able to, because I hadn't produced, when I did Big, I hadn't produced a record with 11 different producers on it. You know what I'm saying? So as opposed to taking the degree of ownership that's required in order to do what I think is quote unquote right, or what I think the record quote unquote needed, it taught me that it's a collaborative process. It has to be a collaborative process along the line. And I know Digga Hurts felt some kind of way about what I did to his record. And it's just something that we may have never confronted. And I know to this day it is. But I learned from it. And if I did something, and Digga Hurts, when it was, I know that. And I know that. I remember you told me. So what I did was, because I couldn't fix it, because I couldn't do anything different, I took it as a learning experience and learned from it. So I agree. I think if you get to editing, and if that's not like with Agent Smith, as far as I know, Agent Smith gave me, when I mixed the album for Brother O and when I mixed his records for Big or whatever, he gave me a lot of flexibility to be able to do whatever I felt was necessary. But that trust was huge, and I really appreciated that. Me and him being able to collaborate in that way. So, yeah, it is an element of growth. Now, again, sometimes, you look at somebody like Kanye. I mean, he's at a scale where he probably ain't having that conversation, because he wants you to get the same high everybody else is getting in terms of sending your shit. But as a producer, you gotta kind of be like, because I thought about how I would feel. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. I remember a time where engineers were engineers. There was no engineer/producer. I know in this time everybody got to wear certain hats. Oh, first of all, what's up, everybody?
What up, Steve?
I mean, is it hard to switch to engineer mode without even touching your producer side?
Man, who gargling over there?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, bro?
I ain't said nothing, man. I ain't said nothing.
I didn't understand what you said. What you asked?
No, I said I remember when engineers used to be engineers, not engineers,
right?
Producers. But I know in this day and time, everybody has to wear multiple hats. That's inevitable. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But to a point, I disagree.
Why you say
I disagree, though. I respectfully, because Quincy Jones is an engineer. Dre is an engineer. Kanye is an engineer. Now, in terms of that finishing touch, because I think that you're right in that there's a discrepancy. There needs to be more of a delineation between being an arranger and being an engineer too.
No,
because the engineer's job is to just solely focus on a lot of the science involved in it and just getting things to blend a certain way. And every engineer is different.
At one time, that's what it was. At one time, that's what it was. Engineers were engineers. Producers were producers. Like you can call Dre an engineer. You can call him that to an extent. But who would you rather mix in the record per se? Who do you think would be a better engineer? Dre Posado or Dr. Dre?
Dre. I'm gonna say I'm
gonna say Posado, because Posado, his only one thing is to get to mix what you give him.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
And he's not gonna take civil liberties, and
he's gonna get the best out of that.
Right. Right. And so he's not gonna take.
Not this will help it. He ain't gonna do this right.
And I'm not with Dre. Dre has a lot more cachet with the people that work around him and work with him, because they trust what he's doing. Plus, this Dre, he's like a gatekeeper. So if you cut, a lot of people they're not gonna voice their opinion about, about their beat to Dre. They're just gonna like mad. They're gonna be like, well, it's about the integrity of the music. I guess it is Dre.
But let me say this too.
That's like saying DJ Doc Rodriguez. He's an engineer. You understand what I'm saying? All them KRS-One records and all that, he engineered those. Never once did you hear Doc make a beat. He was just an engineer. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But in the same token, I'm going back to my experience.
Oh shit!
I wasn't only the engineer of those records either.
No, I'm not. It's not a hit.
I'm saying from the perspective of a Dre, a Kanye, these people who are making those kind of decisions, they're typically, I don't want to call them an exec producer, because an exec producer is a little bit different. But if they're
that's what I was going to say.
If they're applying their overall vision to the record, I think that it's okay for them to attempt to guide certain elements of the record inside of the stems. It has to be done from a collaborative spirit. It can't just be, I'm gonna take your shit and I'm gonna make it do what I want it to do, and I'm not gonna include you in the process.
That's what Dr. Dre was doing.
Yep.
But Dre and them are. But Dre is not just engineering those records. If I'm engineering the record, no, I ain't doing shit to it. I'm gonna do exactly what you're talking about.
Dre did that.
But if I'm creating a project, if I'm exec producing a project and overseeing the entire process, I'm gonna move some things around the way that I think it should be. Right. But I need to do it from a collaborative perspective.
Dre did that.
But I think a lot of it is that you have to respect the vision of the person who is the artist. Like if I'm a producer, now granted, if you're mixing something down, and for me, if I give you something, the way I present it to you is the way, because I take pride in sculpting my shit too. So if I give you something, I'm giving it to you in the format in which I'm satisfied with it in terms of the overall effect. Because trust me, I ain't gonna just throw something together and say, here you go. I'm gonna critique that shit. I'm gonna probably change this. I'm gonna probably change that in it. And it's just right. You're right. In the way I present it is the way that I'm like, you know what? I think this is what it's gonna be. This is what it needs to be. And like I said, I've had it happen before, to where me and the other producer had to have a conversation like, yo, hey man, however I give it to you, like give you the song, that's how I want it. If I got to format it, everything I want in here is in there. Don't change up nothing. If the artist who wants to, that's on this song wants me to add next something on it, have them let me know. Because this is my brainchild right here. This is all me right here. And that's not saying I don't want, if I'm less proficient in something and we need something in terms of making the song something, okay, but let's have that conversation. Let's have a conversation. You don't pull the executive card and make a decision.
And I think even with the executive card, that's something that still should happen. But I would say for the big project, where my joint was changed up, and Wallace did hit me about it, like, hey, I got something. And he didn't tell me what he was doing. He was just like, yo, your joint is crazy. I got a surprise for you. Now I kind of looked at it like, well, shit, He executive producer. So whatever's gonna come out, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I did this and I know I didn't do it. I'm gonna give that executive producer credit. Now, if it was something where, say, I was in the mind frame, nah, that's too much what you're talking about, you want to do, or looking into it further, I'd have been like, hey, what surprise?
See,
you know what I'm saying? Or what you think about doing?
It's a difference, though.
I think we're getting chief producer and executive producer.
It's kind of different, though.
The guy who put the money up.
Right. It's kind of different, though, because it's one thing to, like, it's like, you know, when you read the credits or whatever on all your favorite shit. Like, if Chucky Thompson came in and put some keys on the fucking, you know, Amen Rob beat, it's not going to say co-produced by Chucky Thompson. It's going to say additional this by this person right here. That doesn't mean oh, shit.
But you know what hurts? On that note, a lot of people have gotten around that by saying you just a session musician, I'll pay you session musician price. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And also too, you know, people use that. Some people in the industry, once they got a whiff of how the industry worked, it's like they were vying for let me be the executive producer. If I just add, like Timberland, I give you a prime example. That Ride or Die chick, my homeboy went to grab the equipment from the dude in Baltimore who did the song for Timberland. Timberland got mad because the dude ran his mouth. Timberland didn't do that beat. Only thing Timberland did was go in the studio and add some mutes to the goddamn beat.
Wow.
Trapped him.
You feel what I'm saying?
With the bullshit.
So
with me, my bad. So yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dick.
With me, you know, I'm one of the people that, you know, wear both hats, but I never wear both hats at the same time.
I can't hardly hear you, man.
Your phone in your back pocket?
I got a new this new head.
Oh, you get the trucker. You got the trucker set up.
Hell yeah. Come at.
Break it one now. What's your 40?
Right. What's your 20?
give him an extra 20.
Right.
Hey Dixie, where you at, man?
What up, Clark?
There he is.
What's good?
Here comes the hater.
Oh shit.
Who that, Jay Bishop?
Jay Bishop.
Jay Bishop just walked in the building.
Oh shit.
Hey guys, what's up?
Kaboom.
So Clark is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Clark sent me a joint. He sent me a 2-track of his joint, right? So to make it fit within the context of the record before his was the Oxtail mix for La La La, the Black Male joint, right? So it had like the African noises in it and shit, the African noises. So I transitioned the African noises to like subway noises, like the city. So it went from like past to present or whatever. With the subway. And then I listened to his record and the bottom wasn't, I felt like the bottom needed something else. So I called Clark and was like, yo, I want to add an 808 to your joint. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know, cool. Let me hear it. And I don't remember if I actually sent you the
no, you did
with
not.
The 808. See, no. Exactly. So for me,
but it was cool though.
You know,
I mean, you know what I did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I sent the track to you. You were mixing the tracks. You said I think it needs this, so I'm gonna take your ear on that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let you roll with that. I didn't have no problem with that.
Right. So, and that's what I'm talking about. So, when I do that, if I'm just engineering the record, which I've done twice as many of those as I've done kind of like overseeing a record. I've done 2 or 3 times as many of those. I just mix nigga stems and send it back to them. But if you're asking me to give it, if you mention anything about me giving it a touch, me doing this, me doing that, I'm going to take what you give me and I'm going to try to extend it in a way that makes, and I hate to say it like this, but it makes sense to me in terms of typical song structure, in terms of frequency, in terms of this, terms of that. But the problem is, again, you just got to make sure that you're collaborating with people.
But let me ask
and that you're having those conversations along the way.
Yeah, but
and that's why you don't get his nigga stems.
Let me ask you this.
I don't send you that shit.
I remember back in the day being in the studio where you had white engineers in front of SSL boards. and they had nothing to do with hip hop. Only thing they did was mix, run the equipment. You understand what I'm saying? And it was a difference back then because you had a person that was an engineer. They didn't master. It was another facility that did that.
That did the master. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I'm just saying, like from the first question, like it's kind of hard. That I mean, because for real, I can mix myself. You understand what I'm saying? I could literally mix myself. I've been doing it a long time. I could, but I choose not to because I know it's hard, you know, wearing both hats. For me, it would take my concentration away. What I'm getting to is it hard for Dixie and Wireless to stay in one mode without going into the other mode.
Not me. Because let me tell you what I do.
No, it's not. It's not for me either.
When I'm done, when I'm in engineer mode, the only way I'm even going to think from a creative standpoint is if I hear something wrong. If I'm missing something and it's something that's just wrong, I'll hit you up like, look, man, I think this track would be better if you do this. It's just a suggestion, but I'm not gonna make any changes or nothing without talking to you first.
Right.
But in general, I'm not even trying to listen creatively. I'm only listening to fine tune what you did, what you already got there. Now, I guess it's, you know, I think the key is just communication. You know, as long as you know, I don't. To me, I look at it like this: if I give you a $10 bill and tell you to go in the store, you know, you're way in the store, I say, yo, man, can you give me change for this 10? And you come back with $7 because you decide to spend some of my money without talking to me, I'm gonna have a problem with that. You know, taking liberty. You know,
but here's the difference. And it all comes back to communication. If you give me $10 and say, I want you to make dinner with this $10, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I want you to, you know what I'm saying? I want you to take these ingredients and I want you to make this dish. If I make the dish, if you want me to make the dish, I'm gonna make the dish as how I see fit.
But mixing is not making a dish though. That's not your job as a mixer.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. But with Vietnam's project, with the projects that I did with Dirty Old Men and stuff, I didn't see it as though I was just mixing the album. I saw it as I'm making the shit cohesive.
You're being a courier.
You know what I'm saying?
A courier and an engineer at the same time.
And like I said, the lines are blurred, and you may hear something that you may think may complement the track better. And I've been in those positions too, and I'll hit the dude person up like, you know, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. You know, and that's, to me, that's the best way to do it. They can say yeah or nay.
But you know, the crazy thing is, like, I ain't gonna get too technical, but I'm gonna say this. You know, back then we were using SP1200s, MPC 60s, S950s. Those units didn't have no EQs, none of that stuff on it. So whatever you were doing was what came out of it. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like now, whereas though when you're using the stuff you're using now, you're actually mixing as you're making the beat. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the plugins, the EQs, and all that. Like none of that stuff was on the equipment back then. So the engineer was the man to actually mix your stuff, because, and if your stuff came out of the box sounding good, then you was doing some incredible stuff. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, it's really I ain't gonna say it's no need for engineer, because it is. It always is. But most of the time when you're getting stuff, people already implied so much stuff to it before it's even you know, even sent to an engineer.
That's a question. How y'all get on this subject?
I don't know. We still talking about it.
Gadget was talking about production, co-production, people manipulating your music, this, that, and the third. And I kind of broadened the topic to talk about the process that I've went through in mixing projects that we've done recently, and talking about how I viewed it differently from, and I don't know. I don't know whether or not, you know, there were I don't know whether or not there was the clarity early on that whether I'm just engineering the project or am I molding the project and A&R in the project. You know what I'm saying? And doing all these different roles to make the project fit the way that I saw fit.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to that point.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can see on your end where it was kind of like that. You were kind of chief producing the album, so I can see why certain liberties were taken. But I think at the end of the day, the best recourse for anything is just communication.
I mean, I look at it like hers. I mean, some people may feel like they need a extra helping hand with whatever they're doing production wise or whatever. Whereas though they be like, send something I need, hey, do not just mix it, but do what you do to it because they may not, could finish it off. But most of the time, I'm thinking like, whatever you make, whatever I make, I don't need it chopped up or nothing like that because I done did all that myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like when we did the first retreat, when Twist was there, Twist was engineering. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's a difference with Wallace because Wallace was executive producing the album. You feel what I'm saying? That was the big difference. Wallace had to not only
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not only did he
I'm sorry,
mix, but he had to actually curate, put it together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is a good damn job too.
Yeah, he did.
And that's why. So my growth as a producer was this last one we did for the Nas joint. That's why I included RTO. RTO had everything along the way. So RTO is like, well, you might want to do this, you might want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Let's move this around. Let's move that around. He was an active member and an active part of it. But so it wouldn't just be a situation where I'm the only one that's cooking. And that it led me to see certain things a little bit differently. Like he was a crucial decision that he made was from the very beginning, from the very, very, very beginning, he knew that Black Mav's song was gonna be last. Because it kind of solidified everything and it was a perfect representation of everything that we do and the sound that we make. So having somebody where you can bounce those things off was proof positive of where I was in terms of being able to helm those type of projects and not just kind of lock myself in the basement and do it. Because when you do that, you put yourself in a dangerous place. Because doing what I did and doing what we do in general, it's a collaborative sport. It's not, you need other people around you in order to really gain the perspective that you need. And so, I look at somebody like Kanye. If it's Kanye and it's Mike Dean and it's DJ Dahi and everything is kind of being crafted around that. For me, I don't see Kanye necessarily checking with niggas, but at the same time,
he may need that.
He may, exactly, because he has limitations. You got to think, College Dropout was dope, but it was dope because he had the violin lady on there. He had other people that was doing different things. Evidence made the beat for Last Call, and he just kind of took it and made it this big record, bigger than it was. When he did Late Registration, the star of Late Registration was not Kanye West, it was John Breon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye has that limitation. I can call any one of y'all and say, when I did Big and I was working on Netmaker's record. I called Mav and was like, Mav, I need like a piano solo on this part. Send it to him. He sent me because that's what I saw it needed. I can call Clark the Spark and he can scratch on something. I got shit with Stacks just scratching like a hook. I've never used it because even though he did it, it just didn't end up being on the record that I thought it was going to be on. So having that collaborative element is real important.
Oh yeah, of course. Wow. But like I said,
it is. But here's the difference, though. If we were all session musicians. Like if I played bass, Nav played piano, and Gigahertz played flute.
Say it again.
My bad. We all played a part, and we was like adding. We always bring one element to the table. You playing the Quincy Jones part in that position, that's one thing. But for us to make holistic productions ourselves, and we whatever vision we have as artists, and we complete that as being done, like and change it and changing that to me is not the same thing as saying, okay, I want you to play a different bass line when the whole song's not finished.
I got you.
Hell yeah!
Like when we submit it in, it's done. Like it's a full production. Now I'm not saying you can't say, well, we can add some complementary parts here and there, but it's a different ball game when you building something from scratch together versus us 12 different guys building on our own individual complete tracks, songs, productions individually.
But see, that's just like when Mav was over here and me and Mav was making beats together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's like that.
That's a different dynamic.
Yeah, that's a total different dynamic. And but I mean, back to what you call said, what Wilder said, that Kanye needed that, but every producer don't need that. Somebody like Just Blaze don't need that. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody like
I disagree. I disagree.
Nah.
I disagree.
Nah.
I just want to say,
depending on the complex. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just want to say, if you don't want your executive producer all in the video,
going there with that.
Going there with the come to late pass, nigga.
I like that. Nah, I think it depends on the complexity or the nature of what's going on. Meaning, like the type of shit I do. Like, say if I did a track for Future, like. I gotta wonder with that overall goal, even though I did the production with the beat, whoever's overseeing that, if they like, yeah, we got so and so and so and so, we're gonna use the roads and we're gonna put such and such out in front as far as the mix is concerned. So it fits that. Like a lot of times that shit, happens in context where the changes are made. Because maybe the type of project it is, if it already has a theme or whatever. So knowing that it's executive production, I'm going to be a lot more lenient as far as you changing something. If you're supposed to be like, say, if I went to Joe's Engineering Emporium and I get there and these motherfuckers got my bass sounding like a harp, I'm fucking flipping out. You know what I'm saying?
Joe's Engineering Emporium.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
when Michael Jackson was working with
on the piano playing
One Wish.
Yeah, because I mean, it be a lot of these shit I hear of y'all, and I done fucked around and added keys to a lot of y'all tracks. Y'all just ain't never heard the shit. But what I look like, dropping that shit. RTO beats. RTO gonna be looking at me like, nigga, I ain't hear from you.
When a lot of that shit is a money setup because that's how they get some of these young producers. That the young producers send the beat in, and then Zaytoven to put like a 2-lick piano line on it, and then now you got to split your production with Zaytoven.
Right. That's what Puffy was doing all those years. But it's like when Michael Jackson was working with Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones bringing all these musicians, and they build the track together right there. But when he got with Teddy.
These motherfuckers back cutting like shit.
Himself. And that's different, let's say somebody like a Quincy Jones walking studio after Teddy don't build that whole track. Oh no, we need to redo this bass line, redo this and redo that. No, this shit done.
Yeah.
Like, that's them putting their opinion on it like I don't like it.
Exactly.
And just because you may not like it or you feel like it's lacking, let it be what it is. Because some of the best shit is minimalistic shit.
I think we're trying to make this shit more complex than it is.
Oh yeah. Well, Wallace already made his point. He's saying that he realized, where he grew from that particular situation, but I think the reason that we're still kind of beating this dead horse is because we know that other motherfuckers do it, and that's what they do. Like this dude that did that shit. I mean, fuck it, I call it out. I don't know the nigga like that, but he did the shit to Beast, and it was a track that Beast had. So I was just kind of looking at Beast like, damn, nigga, like you gonna let him eat your cornbread? Like what the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? So
cornbread.
right. Get his own portion of cornbread.
I mean, just think about this though. Like, all right, let's just say with the rap music. I mean, the rap music, not the hip hop, the rap music. Most of these dudes that got these beats, man, they getting these beats from these little dudes in their rooms with the Fruity Loops program.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's no knock against them because I use Fruity Loops too.
And I'm using it right now.
Fruity 12. Shout out to Fruity 12, FL20.
Shout out to 20.
No, that's a knock. That's a knock. Fuck them Fruity Loops niggas. But continue.
But hey, you saying fucking Fruity Loops, then fuck reason. We can't have that.
But you know, like
use FL.
Yeah, I still use FL.
I'm using it right now as we speak.
Hey, Hersh, I'm gonna holler at you later tonight. I'm gonna fire FL20 up too. But yeah.
Come on, man, with these goddamn passes, niggas. Even shoot that shit.
Even with the hip hop aspect, man. Like I don't think
Jesus made that.
I don't think you need a lot of people to make to actually put a song together. You know what I'm saying? Now, unless it's certain stuff you're going for. To me, that comes with the R&B aspect or something like that, where you might need this, that, and other if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know.
Yeah, for real. It's funny you say that because I could be the motherfucker. Like, say if it's something and you be like, oh, I hear something else on the track. You can fuck around and holler back at me, and I can add it so it would sound like something that I did. And that's where I think a lot of times where people got quote unquote their production sound. I can't really say, oh, your beats is this, your beats is that, if you ain't the only one that's got production on them, because the way that I think, ain't nobody else gonna think like that. And you can give us all the same instruments or the same, it's been proven time and time again, we're giving us the same sample. So it's like, if that person, like I pride myself off of when you hear a Black Math production or a Black Math beat, I'm not saying that it's so and so and it's other motherfuckers on here that I'm tight-lipped about, because then we out in public and I'm buying drinks for everybody, but I done did 5% of the work. And this niggas out there that's like, just because they got the equipment, but they know so and so that play keys and they get their drum loops from this person, and yeah, you putting it all together, but a lot of them niggas is doing your pre-work. Come on, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what Warren, the dude Mary's one of the Mary's husbands said when he was at Death Row. See, a lot of them tracks he did. It's just that some dude over him, Paul, got all the credit, but he played the piano parts, he played these parts, laid down the drums, did everything.
I mean, Scott Storch still saying it till this day about Still Drake.
Yep. Now the crazy shit is, I would say this too, kind of off topic, but not as far as like people that do production, whether they play or they chop. If it's somebody that's like that, I'm gonna just say it off the break. Like, I'm gonna give them way more, of the nod than the person that maybe got all the notoriety as being, the top producer. But if you got people in there with you, you ain't the sole producer. Y'all just a team that ain't got no name. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
For real. Because if you can't, I can't give nobody production credit that hasn't seen a record to the end ever. I've seen like one track that I've recorded goes from start to finish, and I've taken like actual projects from start to finish. You can't say you doing production and you don't know how to produce at least a song.
Here, nigga. Well, here.
But it goes back to the conversation about the difference between a beat maker and a producer too.
Yep.
A beat maker like will a producer constructs the record.
But a lot of people out here yelling at they producers, and them niggas just make beats.
Yeah, agree.
Right. They make 8-bar loops.
I agree.
Look,
and I use 8-bar loops too, but I do production.
Oh, if you emailing in the beat and then you'll never hear the song again till the record come out, nigga, you ain't produced shit. You just email shit.
That shit happens a lot. Even Jake One talks about that.
But that does not mean that you're not a producer. That just means that you're not taking the production value. You only take the production value to a certain point. So, in many instances, I'll say I'm both of them. But I'm not relegated. I'm not more relegated to one than the other. I'm both.
Oh, you are. That's that ain't a discrepancy. I ain't talking about the people that can wear both hats. I'm talking about the people.
I'm talking about the people that's all they do is email beat, and they ain't never laid vocals a day in their life.
You're
not a producer.
But let me say this. I mean,
unless it's instrumental production.
I didn't see times where as though I didn't have people just tell them just send me the hook. And I didn't make a whole beat around the goddamn hook.
That's production.
You know what I'm saying? But also, too, I always looked at a beat is a beat until somebody sing or rap on it.
No, I like George Duke. I like George Duke. It's instrumental. It's instrumental greatness.
We ain't doing jazz.
I mean, well, within hip hop too.
I don't see it that way. I feel like this, man. It's all about the finished product.
Well, shit, I feel like that. So you feel like my bad.
Let me say this: if you play one part in the grand scheme of that finished product, you are not a producer. You are a bass player, or you are whatever player. If you, in our case, build the entire production from scratch or from a sample, you panning shit, you arranging shit, you dropping shit in, adding shit, drop outs, you produce a finished product, whether it has vocals or not. Because guess what? There is a such thing as instrumental music.
Yeah, that's what my bad, Dixie. That's what I was about to say. CX, so you consider the abstract key groups a beat tape? That's a fucking album. That's actual production.
That bullshit was beats.
Nah, bro. Don't look, man. Don't make light of that shit, CX. That shit was tight, man. I regard that as an album. Not as he put a bunch of beats together.
No, I'm just saying that's how I look at my music, because I don't put value behind my beats because I can make them at will. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of disregard them. You know, I didn't have times where people hit me up like, I want this beat, I want that beat, I want this beat. They see something on Instagram, I want this, I want that. What beat? What fucking beat you talking about? The one you did on Instagram. I did 1 million of them. I don't know which one. You know what I'm saying? So
here.
Shit, yeah, it hurts like a motherfucker.
I get rid of shit.
I mean, all of us are creative, and all of us are able to push out beats. I'm not saying everybody don't think like I do, but I don't hold my beats in regard. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's why I say a beat is a beat to me.
It is till I go and I'm like, I want to consider presenting that to the world, because now it has to become a production. Even my beat tapes, the QWERTY beat tape and all of that shit, it was beat tapes, but it was production behind it.
I don't even call it beat tape. I call it
I'm like,
it's still production.
I'm like CX. I don't hold my beats in regard, but I hold my songs in regard. So
yeah, songs, yeah. And even if it ain't no words, I'ma still say that shit is a song.
Yeah, like if I put the shit out as a product on Bandcamp, even if it's instrumental, that's a song.
Same thing.
Yep, I hold that in regard. But just the beats that's sitting in my machine right now, I don't give a fuck about those.
Nah, fuck that. It's a lot of shit, mod shit. I give a fuck about.
Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Just like when we did.
Look, well, give them to me.
When we did that dollar bin, that's why I was doing that like that. Because it didn't matter. They don't matter to me because God gave all of us that gift to make them. And I'm not saying like just throw them away, which I used to do. But
damn,
I'm like, I don't really regard it that much because a lot of times I don't revisit. You see what I'm saying? Some people.
I've been there with some.
I understand that because I rarely revisit any of them. If I don't do it in one sitting,
I put it like this. If
move on.
I put it like this: if I try to load up my machine today and my shit just totally shit the bed and all my beats was lost, I'd be mad, but I wouldn't be like destroyed. I just be like, well, I just gotta start the fuck all over.
Hey Jay,
Yeah,
I lost.
That happened to Why about it?
I lost 2 terabytes.
Damn sure did.
I lost 2 terabytes before we did that dollar bin. I had a million beats on there. You know what I'm saying? I lost 2 terabytes, libraries and everything. I said, fuck it.
You know what I did when I lost all my stuff? I joined CMX because I knew that would force me into rebuilding everything back up again.
Do you know how many beats you got since you started doing the joints again?
Who, me?
Dixie? Nah, Dixie.
Let me see. Probably about at least 250, I would say.
Because I was about to say, do you do beats outside of CMA? Do you do other joints like even during that week, or is it all CMA?
No, because I have to submit stuff for television too. Although I ain't played shit yet, but that which I don't like. But and that stuff is some corny ass shit that y'all would never hear.
Hey, that's cool,
the shit
but shit,
if that motherfucker,
if that's the shit that's paying dividends, hey.
Well, they ain't paid shit yet.
Yeah, but that's how some of that shit happen, man.
But that's what they like. Though.
If I'm in the grill,
they be like,
that shit catch pay up.
Those kind of tracks.
Hey, Dixie.
Yeah.
What do you think of Wayne settling with Baby for 10 million out of the 51?
I think the most important part of that is not even the money. The fact that he got free now. And let me ask you this. This part I didn't hear about. Did he maintain his ownership in Young Money?
I don't know.
Hell no. No, I don't know. I haven't seen the terms. I don't know.
That's the only thing no one spoke to. Now, if he was able to get that plus his freedom plus 10 million, I would have done it.
So if he gets 10 million and Young Money, it was a good deal.
No.
Oh hell yeah! For him it is.
Fuck Young Money. He need to get his masters. Fuck Young Money. Get the masters.
No, but I disagree because the ownership of Young Money and a percentage of the ownership of those masters is probably worth more than ownership of his own masters.
Right.
This dude Drake done had 27 #1 hits or something.
Ooh.
And his freedom, don't leave that out. Now he can go where he want to go. He can go get with Jay now. He can do what he want now.
Yeah, I think he done outgrew that. When I was with Samsung and they were telling us that Lil Wayne was gonna be a spokesman around that time, I was like, oh my god, he done outgrew that Young Money shit. Anytime he didn't made it that far, yeah, he a little beyond Young Money.
So to answer your question, Gadget, to me, it all hinges on whether he was able to maintain his ownership in Young Money.
He mad as shit.
Because
somebody sound like they yawning. What was that?
41 million is a lot of money to give up.
Fucking with you.
Yeah,
it is, man. But when somebody holding you hostage for 4 years, you know, you can't get the only money you can get is festivals and shit like that. Like with I think I was watching the Pusha T interview and he was talking about how he's seeing Wayne in places he ain't got no business being. And all the records he sold, he performed at places that new artists would perform. Wow. Because he in a stranglehold right now. Well, he was. So I don't know. It's like Dre. It's like when Dre left Death Row with nothing. I think Dre made the right decision. Do you stay there and eventually, get caught up in some shit you shouldn't be involved in, or you say, you know what? I'm gonna take one step backwards, lose it all to get it all back later.
I agree. Yeah,
I agree with that. It's like letting some. I hate to say it, letting somebody steal a beat in the beginning and let them become popular with it, like a Little Richard and Wichicom. Take it in the beginning, so you don't have to worry about it in the end. He could afford to get that up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. His freedom is the most important thing. That and whether he's gonna be able to maintain his ownership in Young Money. Because that's, to me, I'm with Wallace. Like, you got two of the biggest artists right now on that label making millions. All you gotta do is sit at home and collect.
Right. McGee blocked the shit out that shit.
He had to. There had to be some element of him being let out of his contract for him to settle for that little.
Yeah. But
it had to be.
You know who I blame for all this? I blame Wayne. You know why? Because he sat there and watched them do this to Juvenile when Juvenile was the highest selling artist on Cash Money. If they would do that to Juvie, you know it's only a matter of time for they do it to you.
Man, they was doing it to everybody. Ex
They did,
Bangladesh.
but it happened to Juvie first. He's the first one to get, find out what was going on with the money.
Right.
Then they did it to Manny. Like, how you gonna do that to Manny? He's the sound. And you in a group with this guy, and you still screw over him too, Paul.
Talk about it.
So Wayne thought that he was somehow above the bullshit. No, you're not. They just ain't got you yet. That's all.
Do we know it was 10 or it's well over 10?
The report says it was just 10.
Yeah, it's at 10.
Yeah, they settled for 10.
Well, Universal still, according to this, what I'm reading, it says Universal was cool with paying him out because the benefits Drake and Nicki Minaj. So he obviously did not maintain any further ownership of their music beyond what he already did.
Wow.
Damn, I wouldn't have done that then.
He's done with Cash Money, and Carter 5 will be out on Universal. So he's independent, but I mean, he probably had to give up Young Money too.
Wow. So, but the Young Money was him and J. Prince Jr., right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said. What you say again?
Young Money is Lil Wayne and J. Prince Jr.
That I don't know for sure, but what I do know for sure is that J. Prince Jr. has a stake, and J. Prince, they have a stake in Drake's finances.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make a broad prediction. I don't think Carter 5 will never make. I don't think Carter 5 will ever see the light of day on Universal.
I disagree.
I don't.
Hey, it's slim picking. It's slim picking at this point. They gonna need a major release.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. Especially the state of how things are going, pretty much going now. And on top of that, the true blue Lil Wayne fans have been clamoring for this. So yeah, it'll get released. The Universal sees it. They see the big picture. They the machine they the machine. You know what I'm saying? So,
but Wayne been gone for so long. Like I hope he got somebody around him who can help him like make his music good.
I think Dixie.
I think Manny Fresh will. I think Manny Fresh is slipping there, and kind of help him. I think because because as long as he was affiliated with Cash Money, he ain't want to. Yeah, think about it. Manny Fresh he made them do. Without a Manny Fresh, you don't have the soundtrack to the whole movement.
Exactly.
This dude was a one man band for them, and like I knew shit was shady around them parts, man. When you get rid of the main architect of your sound, your whole movement, you let him go over some money. Ain't no telling what you're gonna do to these dudes that just the MC, just the rappers rather. So
it's interesting you say that, man, because when you dealing with stakes, like if any one of y'all in this room was dealing with stakes on that level, then I think that it definitely would affect your interest in making music. Because we have a freedom now. We can make what we want to make completely. There's no pressure. There's no inordinate amount of criticism that can weigh on you. And that shit digs on people sometimes. I mean, people say what they say about, being immune to it. But I think a lot of people are less immune to criticism than they may propose when it's at this level of the game.
But you know what it's about, though? The reason why we can do what we do is because we don't look at it. We don't do it we do it for the same reason that the major cats do it for. But there's a certain liberty, and we have a certain liberty and a certain freedom that allows us to do what we want to do. But we don't have to succumb to the pressures. I kind of look at people like the more seminal people like Pete Rock, or you look at Large Pro. These dudes or Premier, they just do what they do, and they maintain, and they don't have the pressures of having to meet the demands of a major label. Like, you know, they don't have, and that's what I kind of like in all of our situations too. We're kind of like our own entities to where, like, you know, if I get up in the morning and make a beat and put it on Instagram, there's no pressure for me to do that. I'm just doing it because I want to do it, and not because I got to meet this demand that somebody in a suit that don't even appreciate or understand or know the culture to enough. All they know is a dollar sign. All they know is, like, you know, deadlines and, you know, promotion and shit like that. They don't know about and don't care about, you know, what it takes to do what we do or whatever. They just care about the bottom line or whatnot. And so, thank God that I do have the freedom to say, if I come in this room and I don't cut a machine on, that's my business. You know, I don't. I used to feel this need, and I still do kind of a little bit. I feel the need to create every day, and like I have to, because that's how I'm wired now. I have to make something every day. I might not post it, but I have to make something every day, because that's just that has become part of who I am. You know what I'm saying?
When that happen?
Huh?
When that happen? Every day? Shit, I want to make some shit every day.
I used to be like that, man.
Yeah, I have to be creative every day. I have to, whether it's actually crafting a beat, or me sitting down writing for a minute, or collecting my thoughts via pen and paper or notebook in my iPhone. I have to be. I gotta be. I have to be creative, because me not being creative in a day, you know. And there are times where I've, you know,
you make this shit sound romantic. God damn.
Well, if you don't look at it in those terms, you don't love it like you say you love it.
Yeah, you know, come on, man. No, that's you. No, I got fucked up. Poking the bed, trolling and shit.
I'm kidding, no, man. But
Jay Bishop on the phone. That's why.
But it's funny though. We all have a love affair for what we do. I mean, and that goes without saying. We all have a love affair.
Oh, that's Davenport.
We all have a love affair with it, man. It's like, I feel the need to be creative, in, you know, no matter what I do, whether it be, you know, the production side of it, or writing, or something that, you know, puts me in a creative state of mind and state of being. You know, and
I'm tell you one thing, man. This motherfucking the business side of this bullshit, it will kill your soul.
Yeah,
it will kill your soul. Cause right now, you know, I'm working on this new release, and one thing I'm trying to do way more promotion this time. So I'm taking to doing 10 emails a day, to just a simple act of 10 emails a day to music writers, to reviewers, to promoters, to DJs. Even just doing that 10 emails a day is some draining shit. Like, God damn, I gotta research these niggas and find out their email addresses, and then get past all their gatekeepers and all this bullshit. Ugh.
But that's being a student of the game, though.
But you and that, and
you gonna have one up over the next nigga.
That too, and like that's almost still the state of mind. That's just that goes along with it. That's almost akin to, although it's on the more of the artistic side. It's like when you're going through samples, you're trying to find that sample to make a beat with. Like it's sometimes it's agonizing just to find that. If you,
it is for me.
Oh man, dude, I'm gonna tell you something. As many records as I own,
that's what you heard.
Listen, hey, when Mav came through here, man, I had just bought like a fucking box of the records. And I was going through shit like, man, just trying to listen to shit, and be like, damn, like, man, why ain't nothing grabbing my ear? So, you know,
had records on the wall like Sicario, like
but you know, but I feel you though, Jay Bishop. I think the last time that I did something similar to that is when the artist I was working with, Signif, when she released her last album, I was hitting up all the blogs. Me and my man Donnie was hitting up all the blogs and stuff to make sure that we know we was vigilant. We was like you were saying, 10 emails a day. We had a directory full of blogs, and we was hitting up. We split the blog list in half. We was like You know, they ain't respond back. We was hitting them back with another email. We were blasting them like that. So
one of my goals, like I set a goal. One of my goals, you know how a Bandcamp does all these write-ups on their blog, like the best whatever hip hop in the month of May. So I went through Bandcamp's blog and found all the writers that write about like electronic music and hip hop and shit. And I sent shit and emails to all them niggas. I'm trying to. One of my goals is get Bandcamp to feature me.
There we go.
Hopefully this become the thing.
That's going to happen though. That's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Because you put in the work in. It's not like you did one thing and you sat back. You just waiting for waiting for that email or waiting for that notification to pop up or whatever the case. Like, dude, you said something that most people don't do. Who got more footing in the game than you. You know what I'm saying? They don't. A lot of people don't sit back and do the shit that you're doing, but that's a part of it. When you're independent and you're doing shit on your own, those are things that you got to do in order to sustain or and to enhance what you got going on.
Many hats, Herbs. But you know what, man? Shout out to my man Gadget, man.
Hey man, don't shout Gadget out no more, man.
Hey Gadget, man.
Hat King.
Hey, I don't know how you. I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how you did it.
What I do?
I don't know how you've done it, but I know you've done it.
What I'm saying is interviewing people, how you been doing it. No, I've sat through your interviews. You interviewed me, and I've seen you interview people. But to sit, me and Widebody did like 4 podcasts in one night, and I was like, "Man, this what people in radio and TV go through." You know, to film them all at once, man.
Yeah.
God, man. Good God, man.
That's that GGN shit right there.
I had to turn the camera off. I was over there on the nod, man.
Damn.
So when I gotta say ACX, you need to stop saying, "Let me ask you a question" every time you ask a nigga a question.
Right. So when they sign out, why about like this? I'm DJ Widebody.
Hey, Hurts. Jump.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I see what people go through now with when they doing that radio and stuff like that, man. That shit ain't easy, man.
It's not, man.
That shit is not easy.
Hell yeah. Who that did burp again? Oh, that's Davenport.
and then sit back editing that shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. But it's a task. It's tedious, but man, the end result, bro. Like,
yes.
The more you do it, the better you gonna get. The more efficient y'all gonna get.
Right. Hey. I think Widebody is built for that shit. Like,
he's
built for it, man.
Hey, I saw a quote today from late great Anthony Bourdain.
Oh yeah,
It fit me perfectly. Hold on, let me find it.
Hey, shout out to Wallace for Wallace's post early this morning that I saw. I need that shit on the t-shirt ASAP. Like I'm probably gonna get that done.
What he said?
So there's an Anthony Bourdain quote that says, "I understand there's a guy inside of me who wants to lay in bed, smoke weed all day, and watch cartoons and no movies. My whole life is a series of strategies to avoid and outwit that guy."
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. That hurt.
Wallace said,
"That's all I did today." Damn.
Wallace's post.
Thank my life.
To sum it up, I think Wallace's post is like, "Stop being a little bitch and live." I love that. That needs to be like a shirt that. You know what? Never mind. I'm talking too much. Wallace, we'll talk after that.
You know what? And the thing about it is,
should be 12 shirts and shit.
What I said basically came down to, here you had a guy who spent his 20s like completely fucking up, became a world famous and rich, doing whatever he did, traveler, got a chance to travel the world. Got a chance to travel the world and everything, and I don't know specifically what happened and why he did what he did, but for some reason I would consider it to be, if he chose to do that, there was something that was missing.
Yeah, he was
We sit around
like,
and we complain. We sit around and we complain and we bitch about so much, you know. And all this is happening within the context. When I actually sent that Facebook post, I was sitting in the parking lot of my mother's rehab facility, and my mother, you know, my mother had a stroke, and her life is completely different, and our lives are completely different and changed because of this. And it just, him passing away and me seeing how people, I actually, that's the first post that I put on Facebook in about a week, because I had got so fed up with seeing people post stuff talking about, oh, LeBron ain't as good as Jordan. Oh, Pusha T versus and Drake. Oh, this Kanye album ain't that great. This, that, and the third. And it makes me sick to my stomach to a point to continue to see people who are just living their lives on social media and not necessarily doing anything that's feeding I don't even want to say feeding the culture. I want to say feeding the positive energy that's necessary in the universe. And I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking about my mother, and my mother can't even comprehend any of that shit at this point. None of it. And I'm like, my mother doesn't want to do anything at this point but know that somebody cares enough to do things for her that she can't do for herself anymore. So be creative, love your family and friends, grab the microphone at the karaoke if you want to, and enjoy it, because the shit is not promised. The way that you are sitting right now and the position that you are in is not promised at all. I'm going to tell you this. I was driving on my way home the other day, going down a 2-lane road. When I'm coming from work, I take a back road to go to one of the highways because the traffic is always great and it's great scenery. And I'm driving with the windows down and a bee comes into my car. I'm doing like 60. So I'm like swatting at the bee and shit.
You pulled over like Chris Farley.
I didn't pull over. I'm swatting at the bee and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, while I'm messing with this beat, I realized to myself that I took my eyes off the road for like the better part of like 6-7 seconds.
Yeah.
And I mean, and this car's coming past me, like this car's coming in traffic. And I'm like, damn, you know how easy it could have been for me to swerve over in that lane and be dead. So that's why I'm like, man, I'm really just trying to get myself in a positive space. I'm trying to take better care of myself. I'm trying not to stress over trying to make people happy who don't give a fuck about me, and literally taking care of my babies and putting creativity into the universe and doing the things that I want to do. I'm not worried about how much money I'm making. I'm not worried about having the newest car on the block or the nicest house on the block. I'm just trying to live positive and feed people positivity, dude. Real talk.
True that.
I'm with you, Wallace. But I'm tired of giving niggas passes.
Amen, brother.
Oh shit.
Y'all see me going on Facebook to the next motherfucker who sent a subliminal post my way. I'm just going to really say, listen.
Lil
What'd you say, Gadget?
Lil Kim filed for bankruptcy.
Right.
Oh,
I thought she been had done that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's why I say that's what's up.
That's good, Wallace. That's real good, man.
Yeah, man.
I needed to hear that.
You mindful of what's going on. So that's the, I hate to say, sound cliche and shit, but that's really the first step. A lot of motherfuckers don't even know they got an issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To see where their shortcomings are.
That was real cliche, man.
Shut up, man.
For real shit though, Wallace, man, that's the truth, man. I mean, from sitting back every day I wake up, man, I think about dudes I knew that would never see the streets again in their life.
Right.
That I was around every day, but act like they was going home tomorrow.
Right.
But knew they wasn't going to see the streets again today. I mean, another day in their life. And not only that, in the last fucking 2 months, I done lost like 10 people.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, think for a minute. Just think for a minute. And I promise you, I'm not trying to be macabre. And it's by the grace of God, the absolute grace of God, that Gadget is having this conversation with us. Right. Could you imagine how different these conversations would be?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just went through that October of last year, and it's people still. I just wound up posting a video this week on IG, and it started a thing where I'm talking about like prolific people, like people in the industry, or folks that's doing stuff off of this one chick that I knew, for some years, and she passed away, and it's like that effect is still there, man. So it's like, man, people don't know,
My homeboy passed away this morning. I grew up with him. And
these niggas out here getting ran off the court.
Me and him used to fight every day when we was kids and became tight as adults. Then my other little homeboy, he fighting for his life. He got shot 12 times last night.
Damn.
Right. So I mean, like this has been continuously. My other cousin, he died. They found him in the house dead. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you think about just the other day was Prince's birthday, and just to think that niggas would never thought Prince wouldn't be here. I'm like,
yeah. You don't see that shit. I know I didn't.
Right.
But you know what? I think all of us, like growing up, we never thought about our parents dying.
No. Yeah. I know I didn't.
At least I didn't.
No. I know.
Yeah. Right.
And the parents never think about their child dying. They're thinking about the child burying them.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Crazy.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, and yeah, it's a helplessness that you feel when you see somebody who has sacrificed everything for you just absolutely deteriorating in front of your face. That makes you say, fuck the dumb shit. Fuck the dumb shit. Fuck the chance. Fuck the discomfort that comes along with not taking a chance on doing what you think you should do to be happy. Fuck all that. Fuck the discomfort, because this shit is not promised, nigga.
Nope. It's not. It's
just, that's why I'm always.
As somebody who go ahead.
I always had the mindset, don't sweat small shit, man.
Yeah.
Niggas be arguing over the smallest shit, man. Like, man, that ain't important at all.
But the shit that matter, motherfuckers, quiet as fuck.
You know what I always think about when I was laying in that motherfucking hospital, when I got shot in my back, and I was laying there, and at that time, I'm in the trauma unit, so somebody next to me over there screaming and hollering because they didn't got some trauma that happened to them. They fucked up. I mean, I was fucked up too. Don't get it twisted. But when I walked up out of there, because I walked up out of there.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I got shot in my back. And I walked up out of there. Month and a half later. But some people didn't get to walk out there. And I always tell people that, and people say, when I tell people it could be worse, they get mad with me. I'm like, you a lot of people take life for granted so much. That's why when I go to a fast food spot, I get out and walk in. People always ask, why you do that? I said, because I want to use my legs while I got them. Because some people don't have no legs and they wish they can get out the car and walk in.
Let me tell you something. My grandfather, as long as I've known him, is blind, has been blind. He lost his eyesight in 1971. And sometimes I always never understood why when we had family gatherings, he always stayed in his room, like my grandparents' room. Like he never would come out. He would talk to you from the room. Then I asked my mom one day, I was like, why he don't never come out? And she was like, because I think it bothers him that he can't see anybody's face.
Wow.
It's like, and growing up in that situation, like I've always tried to keep things in perspective. Like some things are just too little to be worried about. Yep. Or to be bickering over.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's move on from this death subject.
Yeah, because Because if I was
that nigga's bumming me the fuck out.
If I was LeBron, man, after this game,
hell, I didn't mean to go to there.
Hey, real quick, have you seen the end of the head of state when the guy who lost lined up his whole team and he was slapping the shit out of him?
Shit out of him,
That's what he used to do, though.
I gotta make a meme out of that shit real quick.
Nigga had the golf swing slap.
Right.
Yeah, he's going off right now, hurt.
Sharon Stone first cause I can't see him. I'm in the room. I took my TV out of my setup and I put it, because I noticed that a lot of times when I got the TV on, I'm trying to do music, I'd be like, damn,
watching the TV.
Like, watching TV. So I had to take that shit out of here.
I'll turn the sound down and do beats though.
It's even worse. That's even worse because now I got to hear what they're saying.
Nah, I turn it down. Nah. But then I got to keep watching this.
Oh man, you saw the TV. You saw the TV. I had to take that bitch out of here. My wife like, why TV in there? Like, because I don't have a TV in there. You took it out? Like, yeah, I took it out.
Yeah, I ain't never had a TV in my studio room.
Shit,
I can't do it. I'll never get shit done.
Me either.
It's bad enough. The internet, the computer's there with the internet.
Shit. Afterthoughts, the EP was down in front of the TV. Every beat, TV on down low.
I got to turn the Wi-Fi off. I got to turn it off when I'm making music. I got to turn it off.
No.
Well, sometimes I use it to get samples and shit, so I can't turn that bitch off.
I ain't did that since pole position.
I have to go to YouTube and snap the sample.
Wait a minute, this nigga say pole position?
Yeah. Or Atari jump.
Oh man, but nah. Dixie, who Dixie? Whatever, man. I'll ask you later.
What? Go ahead.
You granting passes. You tired of giving out passes.
Shit.
Giving out passes, man. Motherfuckers, man, just need to be handled. That's all.
They coming for the crown.
This score sad as fuck, yo.
I'm just gonna say, look, man. Just because I don't spray your subliminals don't mean I ain't gonna press you when I see you.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't even say that, Dixie, because
he travel like shit, man.
You can't reach out and touch him like you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Pause that. But
man, LeBron just traveled like a motherfucker. This nigga did the Fox track. Huh?
Nigga doing the Chattanooga choo-choo.
Because on my TV, Kevin Love just shot the ball.
Yeah, Kevin Love just shot it.
He just shot it. He just shot it here. I'm late.
Nigga doing Chattanooga choo-choo.
He just shot a layup. They call him timeout.
Hey,
bro.
Yes, sir.
How much of your equipment did you sell?
These niggas.
You know what? None of it. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy.
Oh hell.
People they'll ask you about shit and they'll nickel and dime you. So I came to the conclusion yesterday about and shout out to Hill Prop because Hill Prop hit me up. Hill Prop was like, are you okay?
Right.
I like, I'm fine. And I was telling Dixie like about a week ago, maybe. Like I said, I just wanted to go through all my gear, man. Everything I wasn't used, I was gonna put it up for sale. But one thing about it is like, if I give you a price about something, know that you're getting the best deal for what's out there, and you're gonna get some clean gear, and everything is gonna work on them shit. But like, I had so many inbox messages yesterday about shit, and everything from take a trade or you take payment plans, which I could depending on who it was, I could do it. Some people
just say Sweetwater.
Right. Because certain people I fuck with, so I like But when I sat back and I thought about it, and I was thinking about it, when Hill Prop hit me up, I was like, you know what, man, this dude right. I immediately took the post down. Yes, because I had the post on both IG and Facebook. And I actually had some stuff listed on Reverb, and I took that down too. But it was still 2 items I'm still getting rid of. But as far as the
3,000,
as far as the production units are concerned, those ain't nothing going nowhere no time soon.
Man, it hurts.
Nah, nigga, you gotta put. This is the price, non-negotiable. Don't even call me with that bullshit.
And that's the thing, though. When people ask me what the price is, I let them know what the price is. And like, what was crazy about it was I always look at what the status quo says worth. Then I'm like, okay, well, you know, if I'm wanting to get rid of it, I can sacrifice this to get rid of it. If I really want to get it, because truth be told, I ain't hard pressed for no cash. It's just that if it's sitting around, I don't use it as much as I'm using, let's say, the X, or every now and again I might go in there and get the 1 to 3,000 to mess around with. But I ain't hard pressed for no scratch. It was just the fact that, hey, I'm like, well, maybe somebody, if somebody act upon it, they can get it, you know, at a discounted rate or whatnot. But I was like, fuck it. Now you know what? I'm gonna hold on to all my stuff. Man.
It hurts. It hurts. You know, I still I got the Renaissance on off up and let go, right?
Yeah.
So dude hit me up, right? That's what these two wild ass creeps said. One dude said, "Man, I got an Xbox 360." I hit this motherfucker.
That's insulting, yo.
Wow. That's fucked up.
I said, man, I don't play no fucking video games. So and then one dude hit me up. He said, "What year is that?" I said, "Man, this ain't no fucking
What year is it? What year?
Nigga, I got a Atari 2600 and a Coleco Vision. What you got?
Wow. I'm ready to get rid of my Renaissance for good, man. Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't even use it no more. I'll use the studio. Fuck the Renaissance. I don't even need that shit.
But there's still two pieces that I wouldn't mind getting rid of still. But like I said, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait it out because
Oh shit!
Yeah, what happened?
LeBron only now by 16. Doing only score 16.
I even had my little shout out to my little cousin. He even hit me like, "Cuz
you broke up.
Lost you.
I need an NPC."
Hurts, man. You glitching, man.
Yeah, you got the glitch 2 on.
Got that
I need NPC. Like, what?
You got that slow down that slow down effect.
Right. Like a record stop plug in.
Hold up.
Balls so hard, nigga, ready.
Right. Like it hurts over that bitch. Chopped and screwed.
Davenport still on here?
Damn.
I don't know how KD do it with the no tops on, man.
Oh, Fat Von confirmed that. Fat Von confirmed that Salam Remy did that Miguel song, the new one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I believe he did All I Want Is You too. J. Cole, didn't he?
I just put Amy Winehouse back on my phone after a while.
Oh yeah, Salam Remy did do the remix on that, on the Amy Winehouse joint.
I thought he did Adore You.
No, he did the one with Nas on it.
Okay.
With Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, why he throw the ball?
I was talking about Miguel.
Oh.
Adore You by Miguel. I thought Salam Remy did that.
I ain't like his rhythm with that.
Yeah, it was trash. Sorry.
I mean,
word.
You know, I don't even look forward to winning roulettes anymore.
No, this was a while ago.
Forever.
This was a while ago when he was on there.
I know.
Can y'all hear me now?
I think the Beat Nuts, Beat Nuts one was weak as hell as well.
I didn't like the B minus one. We all know
it was. I mean, it wasn't crazy.
Shut up, Gadget.
We all know the one Jay Bishop hated.
Shut up, Gadget. All of them, nigga. All of them. 90% of them.
Yo, motherfucking 45 King can't say shit to Jay Bishop.
Every week.
Frustrated.
Boy, they fucking boy, them motherfuckers.
Man, them Bama's can't even buy a shot, man.
It's gonna look like a cookout at the end of a cookout at the end of this motherfucking game.
He gone.
Man, I think he out, man. I think LeBron leaving too.
I do too, man.
Drink the Kool-Aid, man. Like he
that ain't no doubt.
He about to be ghost. Yaka, damn.
They was burning Jersey. They gonna take the stitching out of them motherfuckers this time.
Hey, Wallace, think about it, Wallace. Yeah, we hear you.
No, hell no.
Hey, Wallace,
I'm here.
About it. They traded away. He begged them not to trade Kyrie. They did it anyway. He begged them not to fire David, whatever his last name is, the GM. They did it anyway. He gone. And the owner is Tommy with Trump.
Nice pass.
LeBron can't
that was a nice ass pass.
Yeah. They out.
Niggas still down 15 though.
He like, I'm gone, nigga.
Yeah, they done, man. They playing crazy. They ain't coming.
I mean, he got that far with this squad though.
Yeah,
and the squad he had early in the year was like way better.
He took
exponentially better.
He took a bunch of corpses to the finals.
I wouldn't want to play for an owner like that, man.
LeBron, he might as well have been out there playing with us.
Yeah.
Jay Bishop running point and shit. Nigga Hurts out there running the two.
I can't play point, nigga. I can't play point.
I box out, nigga. Shit. I mean,
I had to be an undersized 4 like Barkley.
I play point. Fuck it.
Hey, Wallace. No, we still didn't come up with the Steph Curry of production.
It's Kanye.
Of course, the Steph Curry of rapping is going to be Drake.
Here we go. Okay,
here's the
equivalent. Here's the equivalent. Steph Curry can score from pretty much anywhere. And Kanye has made successful records with, we just talking, you know what I'm saying? He's made that have been within the lane of the artists who he has worked with. Successful from all different types of music. Like all different types of music across the landscape. If there's somebody else who can do, I'm talking about rap. I ain't talking about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and shit, nigga.
I'm talking about Timbaland has got pop hits, has got rap hits, he's got Spanish shit.
Okay. So it has to be somebody that can make hit records with anybody across the spectrum, because this nigga can hit from anywhere.
Anywhere. I think Timbaland.
But Timbaland hasn't done it in a while. He said right now.
Fucking 16 points.
Then you gadget.
Yeah, right.
Then you gadget.
Right now.
Right.
What's Timbaland's last big hit?
Shit, Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake album. Yeah. That's right now.
I don't know, man.
As mediocre as that album was, it still did well on the chart.
I think Timberland is a good choice, but not now. Maybe
it hurts.
Maybe he can go for the LeBron, but not Steph Curry.
Hey, Hurts.
Right.
Well, Wallace.
I guess he on me.
Trying to get his sound right.
I said Pete Rock for Clay because Clay just kind of gets in where he fit in. And I think Pete Rock can kind of weave in and out of the game, and whenever he produces something, it's something that is viable. That don't smoke rock shit is hard as fuck.
Yeah, that's shit.
So what real pop hits does Kanye have?
Pop hit.
All of the lights.
I'll say this.
That's the one joint he had.
That's not a pop hit.
He had a jump.
How you figure that's not a pop hit?
That's what I was wondering why he just said that.
He had 2 pop hits on the chart at one time. He had the one with Brandy, the one with Alicia Keys.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think it's Steph Curry. I don't think it's Steph Curry.
Maybe the real question is there a Steph Curry?
It might not be. Not in the current
might be
framework.
Not in the current state of music.
So 3 years ago, it would have been DJ Mustard.
I agree.
And
Metro Boomin.
And as much as
I made it.
Who?
Metro Boomin.
Mike Will. I thought it was Mike Will.
Mike Will. This nigga combined two niggas.
Hey, let me say this too.
I don't know them fuck niggas, man.
Let me say this too about Mike Will made it. Let me say this too about Mike Will made it. I really like that Ray Shrimmer.
Hey, Jay Bishop, man, that's why I don't like when you on here sometimes, because you on the side of me, man. Come on, man.
I really like that Eardrummers record. I really do.
He got some stuff.
I really like that Eardrummers record. I think it achieves the goals that it has set out for.
For the talent?
No, they're Eardrummers.
Oh, no, he's talking about.
I don't even fuck with them. I ain't never fuck with a project by them. But why Mike Will made it got to be a fuck nigga though? I'm curious. Is it because he makes like trap shit with 808s and shit?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
That's because he made that Miley Cyrus record.
I got a question, yo.
That was his girl.
Hey, do y'all? Hey, I got a question real quick.
Yeah, that was his girl. He was hitting that.
Real off topic. Do you think if LeBron fouls out this game, do you think he sit to the end?
If he foul out, he got to sit to the end.
If he foul out, he gonna sit. What kind of question is that?
No. Hit me out. Nah, what I mean is, do you think he gonna sit to the end of the game, or do you think he gonna leave the arena?
No, he gonna sit.
LeBron ain't one of those guys who so poor sportsmanship. He gonna shake the other team's hand. Sure.
Nah, yeah, I don't see him leaving the game. Nah,
he never been.
Hey,
I'd be surprised.
Hey, so what about Just Blaze being Steph?
Stranger things have happened, nigga.
I don't.
What's his last big hit?
Hey, hold on.
Oh, he was on the Beyonce record. He was on the Beyonce record.
Let me tell you why I know it's not gonna happen.
Live your life. With Rihanna.
It's bothering me right now that LeBron is joking with Steve Kerr and talking about
two different conversations.
I peeped that too.
Steph Kerr. I think. I hope he don't go to Golden State, but I think it may be more to that story.
No, he ain't going to Golden State. I don't think so.
Full of Durant and shit.
No, that'd be terrible for the league. That'd be terrible.
It would.
That was very terrible.
They built that team.
The league would veto it. The league would pull what they did to the Lakers move. Yep.
Hey, they built that team to beat LeBron.
Hey, Wallace, would TDE be the Golden State Warriors of labels?
Right now?
Yeah.
Ooh. What other label is
no?
Or what other crew is? Wait, Jay, damn it! What other crew? What other crew has been as consistent in the last 4 or 5 years as them?
God damn it!
I'm curious. Unless you're talking about like Atlanta niggas.
That Maybach Music? Okay.
I don't know.
Because
I mean, when you think about it, TDE only really got Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, and SZA right now. I mean, they got other people that's bubbling, Luke, Isaiah Rashad, and Luke, the Skywalker Kid, and Sir, and these guys, they're definitely niche guys. None of them are meeting the success that Kendrick is, but who the fuck is? Nobody.
So wouldn't Kendrick be?
Get that shit out of here.
We was talking about producers. Yeah, we was talking about producers though.
Right. But for lyricists, who would be Steph right now?
That's good.
Kendrick or Drake, right?
They walk.
Black Thought.
Drake don't write his own lyrics. It can't be him.
I knew that was coming. I knew that shit was coming.
Black Thought.
Who said Black Thought?
I did.
They wasting time on these niggas too.
Nah.
Man, they grabbed 3 offensive rebounds back to back.
I peeped that shit, man. These motherfuckers down 19, man.
They are destroying these cats.
That's what I was about to ask you. I want to ask her, but I guess you're going. But
they just running clock.
That's what it is. Body language just fucked up.
Hold on.
Yeah, now we can.
Why is Tyronn Lue so beholden to J.R. Smith? That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand it either.
Because LeBron is.
He get the discount on Henny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tyronn
is crazy. Anytime right now,
or they just ask why the coach is so holding on to J.R. Smith Dude, that messed up, right? He said because he get the discount on Henny.
Man, you know, I think Tyronn Lue got extremely outcoached here. He plays personal relationships. I think he plays personal relationships and stuff over successfully winning a game.
Yeah. Hey, you know
I think
crazy,
you know what I'm saying.
They up 19. This game over, man.
Man, when I seen Larry Nance shoot that ball, that's when I said it was over. Man. They ain't got no more fighting. Man.
Nope.
Side note, Henny highly overrated.
Oh yeah,
but you know what's funny though, man.
We would know, Jay Bishop.
People tend to forget this too, man. Like it wasn't too long ago that LeBron was on the other side of this thing here. And it wasn't a problem when he was doing all this stuff. But like now people seem to like wax poetic and be like, oh, he's having such a rough time with this team.
They go down with the three.
You know,
God. Here we go to LeBron slander. Go ahead.
Hey man, I'm here for it.
I think Jay-Z said it best.
You consistent, brother. I give you that.
Right. Oh, hey man, listen. No. But this ain't a dog pile on him, but it's like, you know, how soon we forget. Like, I mean, we forget about those things.
These niggas are they throwing boots and shit at the hoop now. But I think
the difference between me and everybody else, I'm realistic. I told RTA before this season even started that the Warriors were winning 5. I was wrong about that.
I said
I was one game off.
I said 5-2.
Jay-Z said it best. You can only basically saying you can only be the hero for so long before you become the villain to somebody. Flat out. That's just the way it is.
But to be honest with you, man, dude never had a chance, man. I'm gonna be real for a minute.
It started with the high school.
LeBron never had a chance because it's always that demographic of people that still hold on, and a lot of us do it. We have
to say this to Wide Body Show.
Okay, that's right, no doubt. So about that equipment I was talking about.
Oh my God, these niggas are really struggling.
Yeah, that shit look like me on the court. Nobody want that. I ain't even bullshit,
man. Listen, I got a calendar right here, man. I'm marking down the days till we get to Halifax, Nova Scotia, man.
Man, I could have gave him 15, man.
Hey, Wallace, do you have to wear a mask? Are you bringing that to Cali, like the whole machine?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing my shit because I'm sleeping too good to not bring it.
Right,
I hear that.
Real talk.
What's up, man? Hey, I tell you what, though, I've already scouted out my room. So, that's my room. The room I'm gonna be in. It's gonna be away from all the keeper uppers.
Right.
Fuck all that. I'm sleeping wherever I want to sleep. I don't care what nobody. Ain't nobody claiming shit. I'm sleeping where I want to sleep. Because all I do is if worse come to worse, I just won't wear my mask. And then
that's
all thing I just say,
motherfucker wake up with a glass of water down his throat.
I don't want to have no Vietnam flashback.
Hey, look. You remember on the Flintstones when the cat threw Fred out?
Hell yeah. Hey, man, that motherfucker extended his arms and dropped his ass. Man, like shit.
Hey, I want to talk about the argument Blue and I Will had about Michael Jackson.
Oh Lord!
I missed this one. What argument?
5 who to lift the what?
Whether the beginning of beat it is a sample or not.
If it's a sample or not, yeah.
What? Is it?
Hell no.
Because Blue found a record that was Sounds of the Synclavier that had the exact same pattern of dun dun dun. And then I was like, no, they actually used the Synclavier and did that. And Blue's like, no, fuck that, it's a sample, nigga. I found the record. So you know that means every goddamn thing. I said I'm going not to get involved in this shit.
I got the lounge group. Hey, I got the lounge group on mute.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me, man. That man ain't said that, man.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, you go look at the lounge. This whole conversation is in there.
Oh shit.
Okay, I must have missed it.
And Blue was adamant that shit was a sample.
And they got too much time on their hands.
Yo. Blue was killing me with the good night.
Damn. That's not some shit I would have said.
So Quincy Jones sampling in the 80s, huh?
Yeah.
He wasn't sampling. He had called Marley. A young Marley.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones had an MPC, huh? That's what happened?
No, he had that fucking $300,000 Sinclair.
Nigga, the shit was a preset on the Sinclair. Why would you sample a preset of something you already got?
Right.
Yeah, man.
But I'm not getting involved in that shit.
I ain't see that. I got a Sinclair.
I was ready to say. I thought you ready to say you got a Sinclair at the house.
Nah, hell nah. My wife would be like, man,
I do on software. Arteria. It's on the Arteria.
That's what I was about to say. I got a Sinclair in my Arteria stuff.
And you know what? And you know what? And you know what sound is in there? The beat it sound. Pause.
You definitely got to pause that one.
That was the dagger right there.
That was the beat is out.
The beat is out. I'm out of here.
The press charges on yourself.
Y'all want to hear the beat it sound?
No.
Hey, look. We say we mess around and say yeah. We mess around and say yeah. Instead of hearing.
I'm looking at this shit. I feel like
you hearing this right here. I ain't beat it. Yes, it is. Nah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was a real conversation. I'm going to have to go back and check that out.
That's wild as shit.
I see Clayview.
You're about to put these niggas down.
Blue.
Man, this shit. Fucking 89 to 67, nigga.
Blue.
I don't care who wins. I want to be competitive, man. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous, man.
As long as they out here throwing New Balances at the damn.
What's the 89, 67?
It's 70
niggas out there throwing.
They got
Timberlands at the damn.
God damn.
Hey, Hurt, it's so bad. Jeff Green just got the ball and almost got stuck between the backboard.
Damn, Steph cooking.
Man, you know what, man?
92-70.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. This team ain't as bad as people saying they are, man. I'm looking at these dudes like.
Here we go. Go ahead.
They're not. I mean, they just ain't
pretty bad.
They're
pretty bad.
I think they ran out. They didn't ran out of energy, man. Like they was all there. They was all there for the Cleveland for that. Not Cleveland. I'm sorry.
It hurts all that optimistic shit. It ain't gonna work. They some trash.
That game last.
As long as you keep your head to the sky.
Damn, why they shut these motherfuckers down like this, yo?
Has anybody heard anything about the Superfly movie that's coming out? No?
You know what? I've heard the soundtrack was trash.
I know Digger heard the movie like that. So I want to hear what he thinks.
Say what?
I said I know your hair used to be like that, so. I don't want to hear what you thought about it.
I want to know one thing, Wallace. Where did you find that picture?
Herschel Wallace from the land of pimps.
Hey, did y'all see that Kevin Durant meme with him on an escrow box?
Oh, no, bro.
I gotta find that.
That nigga hairdo look like an NAACP image award or some shit.
I just, you know what though?
I said it should look like the bottom of a black man's stomach.
I bet you Kevin Durant. I bet
that shit look like the logo for the United Negro College Fund and shit.
That motherfucker look like the sign icon for the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
That nigga shit like a Lou Rawls bust at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hey, what did you say about the soundtrack?
I heard the soundtrack was
for the Mississippi.
It's executive produced by Future. What did y'all really think was gonna be?
Now the movie itself, it doesn't
Man, that movie gonna be trash.
Yeah, watching the trailer is like me. I like the original Superfly. When they fucked up, I think they did Superfly TNT. With the original Superfly, I'm rocking with that. Like this new, when they try to redo these remakes, it just don't equate.
It was that, wasn't it directed by Little X?
Little X, yeah. I like Little X.
Rough Rider videos.
Yeah. He's a true, now the true testament of this movie is he gonna turn into a belly like his mentor did.
Right.
You know.
Hey, I like that.
But you know what? Hey, I might not go to the movies to see it,
but Belly is a classic now.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Belly is a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah, Belly dope.
It had plot holes like a motherfucker though.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Hey, we ain't saying it's gonna win a fucking Tony,
or Oscar, or Emmy or some shit. But
it's a hood.
Hey, look, hey, you the same person that liked what was that movie, man? Dolomite, the Dolomite movie. So and them black exploitation movies had holes like it was nothing.
Okay, so let me ask this: what is the all-time greatest black exploitation flick?
Man, Hell up in Harlem.
Black Caesar.
Dolomite is up there.
Dolomite is up there, but Coffee's another one of them. Coffee.
Ain't no love for Shaft.
What was the one where the dad from Good Times was Biggie Smalls? What was that?
Let's
do it again. That's up there too.
You know what?
Jimmy Walker with Bootney Farnsworth. That shit was hilarious.
Niggas sleep on Chuck Turner with Isaac Hayes.
Turner was the shit.
Yes, man. It was. Yes, it was.
Even and the soundtrack to go along with it is even better.
What about
Yes, it did. I think it had the original version of Ike's rap on it.
I'll take Coffee. I'll take Coffee over
all
Foxy
the Pam
Brown.
Grier movies is pretty good.
I'll take Coffee over Foxy Brown though.
This nigga,
and I'll take Mahogany over Coffee.
I'd take any of them.
Jordan Clarkson ain't even play today, did he?
Did Rodney Hood play?
Rodney Hood played. He was throwing shoes at the hoop though.
I was about to say, yeah.
Even if LeBron stayed, he still don't have no cap space. Even if he leaves.
You got too many, but the problem is though, Sid, you got too many of the same type of players, like people who need the ball, all dominant people, and you can't. Them cats that you just got the name, they ball dominant.
They're not catch and shoot guys.
Yeah, they're not catch and shoot guys.
Ball dominant.
Ball dominant.
All catch and shoot too.
Oh, they over here swatting shit.
Man, they out here.
That's what made me
mad. When I saw Jeff Green shoot the ball,
they have
between the rim and the backboard. Oh yeah,
they have Kyle Korver in the game enough for me.
Man, Kyle Korver said, "Going back to Atlanta."
Because
he panning this shit.
They could have spread the floor with him. Pause.
Wow.
Nigga, LeBron got the panoramic sunroof on with the sunshade.
Who got beats right now?
Shit, I'm on the phone like a dumbass.
I'm on the phone, nigga. On the phone.
They about to get another ring. These niggas out here playing like Cobra, nigga.
hey, next year we doing Japan or Canada?
Cairo.
Hey,
you said Cairo?
Japan or Canada?
I love to do Japan. Hey, if we do Canada, man, I tell you like this. If y'all want to do Canada, we could start in the D and we could mob over to Windsor.
Whoa.
And go record shopping all over there and then come back.
We see you say start on the D. So that wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah, that would have
been way worse.
But you gotta have your shit right. You gotta have your passport.
Oh, I'm straight on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If y'all niggas talking about coming to Japan or Canada, y'all, you gotta have your passport game right.
Right.
I got 8 stamps on mine. 8 to 10 of them.
That motherfucking Japan jump.
We know you an international dope dealer, so
Nah.
That's all right.
Nah.
And another thing, if y'all talking about coming to Japan, don't think y'all coming over here buying up all the records, because you gotta remember, you gotta ship them bitches back.
I'm Jonah.
You better stack your chips for that. You ain't taking all that shit on the plane, nigga.
Hey Jay,
shipping that equipment back.
I'm trying to see that Super Mario Kart, that wheel joint they had out there.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time in a few places.
Hell yeah, I'm trying to race.
I can take you where that's at.
Yeah,
you want to go do it? I can take you over there. You can go do it and dress up in the suit.
I'm trying to be one of, man, that should be perfect. Nah, I'm gonna dress up as me, nigga. My name Mario. Oompa Loompa, this Mario,
fuck that shit is.
This nigga. Oh shit. But yeah, that should be dope to do.
Yeah, I do Canada. What's up?
You all right, Davenport?
Well, Davenport said I ain't got to fly there. I can start driving now.
I'm talking about the game.
Motherfucker getting, motherfucker getting
Well, if y'all gonna do Japan, y'all need to hurry up because I only got like a year or so left in this bitch.
Unless we see you when you get back, nigga. Shit. I ain't got no
coming back to the States. We probably would go to another country. We thinking about maybe going to Dubai.
Oh shit! Bye bye. Shit.
Look, long as that nigga Trump in office, I ain't coming back to that bitch.
Damn.
Hey, look, 12 months.
Hold on, let me tell you something about that, Jay Bush. Because of the electoral college, he might win again.
Nah, I don't think he'll win this time, Dix.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people sat out. You know what I'm saying? And I think now, since they got abused like a abused child by this band, they gonna vote.
Right.
They gonna vote. Believe me. They gonna vote.
A lot of people that voted for that dude, man.
Don't vote worse.
A lot of them are having buyer's remorse.
But y'all gotta remember though. But y'all gotta remember. Hold on, y'all gotta remember. You gotta remember.
Body show.
Oh damn, my bad.
Yeah.
Gavin does not endorse any of the comments made on this show.
Right. But man,
that's un-American.
Hey, Hurts.
Yes, sir.
I seen you on the MVP.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it.
You want
they showing stats on this nigga LeBron like
I thought you would put that up for sale.
I got one under the bed. You want that one?
Whoa.
Whoa. Indeed.
That's you got an 8,000 though, right? 6.
What you got? 88.
That's an 88.
Oh, okay. Only thing that's different.
Something telling me RTO may come on this call.
The color screen and the editing. That's it.
Yeah, where RTO at, man?
RTO probably watching the game.
RTO was having issues with his internet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Problem.
Yeah, he said that he actually was going to see the joint. I think out to eat or something.
Yeah, he had Brenda's chicken emporium.
Bagels and barbecue. Brenda's bagels and barbecue and shit.
You all right over there, Davenport?
Man, he just raped that nigga, man. Paul.
Oh wow,
you all right over there?
That is a bit much.
My daughter was talking about this earlier, man. Before I even got home good. I don't know what's wrong with that child, man.
Who asked me if I was all right? That's it.
I did. I asked you, was all right.
Man, they motherfuckers. Man, all I know is our country got some 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers World Champion shirts coming.
This shit's going to Guatemala.
Right?
LeBron going to go to
them motherfuckers done broke 100.
I'll be a warrior.
Hey, if he do that, Dev, I'm done with the NBA.
Yeah,
why they still shooting threes?
Hey, listen, because it'll be that's an 82-0 team right there.
Yeah, they ain't never lose. Niggas gonna be done with the NBA. They already done with the NFL. But niggas about to start watching hockey.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, Caps just won.
Yeah, Caps just won.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, hold on. Listen, check this out. Y'all remember game 1 with Steph and LeBron kind of had a little back and forth? 2 minutes later, they whispering out their jerseys, laughing and shit. I'm like, okay, that don't look right.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm gonna tell you what's finna happen. They finna wheel and deal. If LeBron go there, they finna wheel and deal somebody away.
There's gonna be Draymond. Draymond gone.
Draymond and Clay.
Nah, Clay ain't going.
Nah, you need to keep Clay.
It's gotta be a big man because LeBron played 4
you gotta keep John Beasley. You gotta keep John Beasley because who else gonna say it to the women?
Draymond already said if LeBron comes here, I don't think. He didn't say like he can't play with LeBron. I don't think I would be here. Man, he know they're gonna have to get rid of somebody.
They would be overloaded, man.
They play the same fucking spot, damn near.
They dealt Harrison Barnes ass away a couple years ago.
Hey man, somebody play some beats. I'm feeling kind of sad right now, man.
Yeah, I see this shit.
They had 1% chance to win. My blind granddaddy knew they was gonna couldn't see them winning this game.
You know, but you know what? Hey, truth be told, Dixie, I promise you, when I was talking to my daughter earlier, I was telling her, I said, look, you can't be a prisoner of the moment, man. You can't be hating. Why you be hating on LeBron so hard? She said, I'm not hating that. I'm just saying, like, they down 3-0. You think they finna? Now they might forge, and I put the message in the lounge spot, but I actually told her this was around 5:30 my time or whatever. I was like, they're gonna actually. I said, I think they're gonna actually win tonight. And she was like, I don't see it. That was she told me. I don't see it.
I said that earlier. When I talked to somebody at work, I said, nah, they ain't winning. They done. LeBron, they chance to win game 1.
Open for what? It's over. I knew it though.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, man, you know, for what it's worth, man. Damn, they ain't worth shit, really.
Let me tell you how I knew for sure there wasn't gonna be no series. Because when Houston played the Cavaliers, they killed them, mopped them off the floor. And when the Warriors was able to beat Houston the way they did,
they bought
man, no way.
Hey, truth be told though, I was telling somebody, one of my partners, I was telling him that I said, when they play against the Celtics in that game 7, I said I really hope LeBron don't make it. It's not because I didn't want him to make it to the finals and possibly win.
He didn't want to lose again.
Exactly. I didn't want that to be on his record.
Yeah,
for as great as he is, man, I didn't want that blemish. I didn't want something more ammunition for niggas who really hate this dude to be saying the shit they saying.
That's gonna be the ammunition. He got swept, but he the greatest.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, man, it's a team sport, and and he's a team player.
And LeBron has given up.
What I tell you, he was going to sit down.
He might as well.
What I tell you.
Oh shit! Oh, hold on, man.
What I tell you.
My daughter just texted me. She said, "Is LeBron still crying?"
Damn. I told you. So I mean, he didn't leave the arena, but he done though.
No, I would person crying like that.
You train her properly.
No, hey, look, bro. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, this is trust me. This. No. I'm saying, guess what? No. Guess what? Though? Hey, guess what? She watches basketball not only with me, but she watches basketball. She watches sports period with my father-in-law. My father-in-law, she watches a lot of stuff with him, and he way worse.
Hey, I told you he gonna take everybody hand. He ain't no poor sportsmanship like that.
No, he not.
My wife said he done. Hold up, let me check this out.
Yeah, he done. Yeah, he on the bench.
How much time left?
3.5 minutes.
They should out him outside. About 20 plus, man. It's over.
Yeah, they getting bucked.
Damn, man. You know what? It ain't even fun.
They only down 20. What?
Only
24. I know, right?
Only.
These niggas are only down.
Yeah, 24.
Man, you gonna need T-Mac and Reggie Miller suit up to put up some
26,
quick, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah. No.
They caught somebody up in. They caught this lady up in Detroit. You know how they do them. You know how they do them exposés where they be catching people doing bad shit.
Yeah.
They caught a lady in Detroit giving niggas braces.
Wow.
For 150. For 150, you get braces, nigga.
On your teeth?
On your teeth.
Hey, Tori.
Who put them bitches on?
Come here.
She do. She put braces on. She do braces for 150, bro.
Them motherfuckers got lug nuts around your motherfucking molars. I'm good on that. Motherfucking washer.
Hey, I believe it. Detroit City of hustlers, nigga.
Man,
niggas will hustle anything.
She done took some paper clips and wrapped them around people.
Yeah, you ain't hustling my motherfucking molars. Fuck that. Oregon stealing these niggas is smile.
Detroit is the home of I know a guy. Nigga, I know a guy that can hook that up for you.
Kyle Korver missing wide open threes, you know,
it's over, man.
Hey, LeBron took the time to shake every.
I already said at the beginning of the game, their motherfucking body language wasn't right.
Yeah.
Yep, the motherfucking
shirts they probably gave it up in the third. When they fell down by like 15 in the third, they was kind of like, nah, man, it ain't happening.
When the message I love Isaiah Thomas, I hate that I hate that he walked off the floor and then shake them guys' hands when the Bulls finally beat them.
That shit was gangster.
Nah, it wasn't gangster, man. That was being a sore loser.
My thing is, if you're gonna go like that against them while you're on the court, you know what I'm saying? Of course, because you competitive. But once you're off the court, you cool with him. If you're gonna be cool with
him, they got Isaiah back when they froze his ass off that Olympic team.
Yeah, that was some fake shit. That's why him and Scotty don't fuck with each other.
That came straight from Scotty and Michael. They said Isaiah's on the team, we not playing. Like I said, you know, we can say what they want about LeBron, but that was most guys just would have went to the bench, up and whatever. He went to every guy on that court, shook their hand, then went to the bench. James Harden shook one person's hand and left. I think it was KD. He shook KD's hand and his former teammate and left.
Oh, somebody got a beat?
Of course, he's tired of this shit.
He said, fuck that game.
Damn. That's just a loop, though.
32-ball loop.
It changes.
Right.
That beat was hard as hell.
Yeah,
I thought they ran the time off the clock.
That
Tom Gugliotta on bass off this motherfucker.
Hey,
niggas got bucked.
Put that.
Loving that shit, man.
Fucking 106 to 79.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
It was tight.
They
man.
bucked the shit out these.
Dad, what you making on, Dad?
That wasn't on. Was that on the screen?
No, man, that's Fruity Loops. No, I'm just fucking with you. No.
You make that shit out on Fruity Loops.
Y'all gonna stop clowning Fruity Loops.
Nigga, I just on you. You made that shit on Fruity Loops.
Don't shit on Fruity, bro.
Hold up, that's Pachulia though, ain't it?
Hey,
on 27?
Hey, Bishop.
Yeah, man, he's still on that team.
Let me know when you make a Grammy awarded song on Fruity Loops.
That ain't never gonna happen.
Hey, you know what, man? Fruity might in the last 8 years, Fruity Loops probably got more Grammys than any other song for him.
I agree.
He lead these niggas and he got a joint twice.
Or Grammy nod.
Yep.
I just clown. You know what? I don't clown Fruity Loops because of Fruity Loops because I ain't got nothing against the software. I just got something against the majority of niggas that use that, which is some little trap niggas.
What they do? What's wrong with them though? What they do?
What you mean?
Nah.
What you mean? What they do? They make crap music.
I know exactly what
they offend my sensibilities.
I know.
Don't listen to my next project then, because it's gonna be them but trap.
I got a tape coming out called Trap
History. To be good. I expect it to be good from you. I expect it to have some type of musical sensibility to it, not just a bunch of sounds and loops just thrown together all fucking willy nilly.
Nah, ain't gonna be none of that.
Or buying a fucking MSX loop pack and using the whole motherfucking loop and putting a water sprinkler hi-hat on it and calling that shit a new beat. Fuck you, niggas.
Hey.
Got me off the loops long time ago.
Isn't that what the dude did you see the video on YouTube where the dude said if you send me your stems
what they doing with this volleyball game?
I'll rap on your shit. I'll kill your shit.
He said if you send me your stems, it's my stems now.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was Cassius J. I made the video about that nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck him. He a Fruity Loop nigga too.
Damn, LeBron.
See, them the type of dudes that come home and they ain't nothing but power cords laying there.
Right? That's funny as shit, actually. No, that's kind of fucked up to be on the receiving end of that shit, but that shit sounds funny as a bitch. Pan the camera, be motherfucking cords and shit.
I remember one time
up under the desk.
Dude, I know, man. He was like, man. He said, man, you know such and such. I'm like, yeah. He said, man, you want to buy some equipment? I'm like, where you get it from? I got it from Wichita. Oh, yeah, we went up in the jump, put the jump in his mouth, took everything. I'm like, what? Man, you got to get that back, man. Come on, man. You don't want it?
Man, I'll tell you a motherfucking true story. I went to see this motherfucker who's a so-called producer and shit, had a studio, and he's going to play me some beats. This nigga played me a beat that I know came off a motherfucking beat pack. I recognized the motherfucking loop, and he's like, yeah, I made this shit the other day. Nigga, you ain't make that shit. I just nodded my head like, yeah, that's dope, fam. You lying ass nigga.
Damn.
So why didn't you call him out right then and there?
Damn, these motherfuckers on your court. On your court.
I just like it's just like I know I'm not gonna work with this nigga. So what would be the point of calling you out?
Man, you're not really surprised by this, are you?
He about to get in the back and throw some furniture like a motherfucker, boy.
No, he's not. Dude, they had 1% chance to win. Nobody expected them to win this game, win this season.
I want to hear the shit Wallace was working on. Him and Notes.
Music wise?
Yeah.
Oh nah, I ain't playing that tonight. I'm sitting on the couch.
No, not tonight. Not tonight.
Oh yeah, word up. Oh shit. Yeah. When for what? For rapping?
When is that dropping?
Well, I'm trying to have it done before I go to San Francisco. I'm trying to have their album done before I go to San Francisco. But so I could work on the San Francisco album. But hey, maybe somebody else can executive produce that motherfucker this time.
Hey, because like I think between
Hold on, that mean Nick Young got a ring too.
Oh, between you, like no offense, Jake Bishop. Between you,
of course.
Like you probably one of the best rapping producers out of everybody.
Damn. Well, thank you, brother.
You're welcome. But
I did rap. I rapped. I did a couple joints on this one.
I can't rap, nigga.
No, you killed that all that to get to this shit. I'm sorry. You touched my heart, nigga.
I honestly, you took me by surprise in Chicago. Like I literally was not expecting that shit.
Yeah, that's
expecting what?
My nigga, thank you, brother.
I wasn't expecting the bars.
Oh yeah, man, yeah.
I keep 16 bars of Doom at all time in my phone.
Man, that motherfucker Wallace was like, I
Wallace
remember that shit.
Doom.
I was about to leave the room. He was like, "Hey man, leave that. I got something for that." I said, "Oh, okay."
And he better be glad we was in the room because he was trying to erase it and start. I'm like, no, leave it alone. It's fine.
That motherfucker said, "I'm gonna go for a smoke." That motherfucker came back an hour later, sitting in a chair, mind you. Say, this motherfucker's projecting these vocals.
What's up, y'all?
Wait, you recording your vocals sitting in a chair?
Sitting in a chair, bro.
Yeah.
Man. How you do that? That's bad for your diaphragm. How you get that?
Man, he had AJ Bishop. He had the principal posture and shit.
Man, you know what, man? I've seen a lot of basketball in my day, man. But I swear that has had to be the saddest output of basketball I've ever seen in a championship setting.
Championship series, bro. That, like I said, they was defeated. It was defeated before the coin flip, man. You saw that shit in about.
You may have watched the 2007 series.
Y'all think LeBron saying?
Damn, Curry had 37. I didn't know that.
He got the MVP.
See him done. Think he done.
I think you give MVP to Curry, dude.
Yeah, Curry gotta get.
Who that? Anita Baker voicemail?
There you go, Dad.
MVP.
Who got it last year?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he goes to Curry, man.
Yeah.
What's happening, Dixie? Jay, Davenport, Rob?
What up, dog?
This motherfucker made 21 points in threes, yo.
Davenport.
My Drake shit.
What's up?
Hey, tell me, LL Cool J didn't pave the way for fucking Drake to rap for the late.
Oh yeah, no question.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yo,
No doubt about it.
LL killed every R&B remix he was on. Like
stylistically though, you know, the LL one doing the singing.
That's fine.
Fonte.
Took up, bitch. Wow.
I'll see LeBron going next year.
All right.
We gotta say that for Sunday, man.
You gotta say that for Sunday.
Say that for your show.
Oh man. Really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Gadget said there will be no more play for the Suns.
Hey, Gadget, you know why about to change the format of his show? We can only talk music on his show now, so what we supposed to talk about?
Really? So that means one of y'all niggas need to start a sports show. That's what that means.
Hey, there you go, Dixie. There you go. See, there you go, Dixie. That's your lane right there.
There it is.
I kind of reneged on that a little bit.
Who's gonna be the Stephen A on the show?
That'd be me.
Jay Bishop.
My sports knowledge is not that tight that I can make a legitimate argument.
I
just be bitching to be bitching.
They'll have to keep us posted on like NFL and all that.
I don't know shit about football. I haven't followed football. I haven't followed football in at least 6 years.
Damn, they had this motherfucker. That shit is crazy. He had to go all the way over to these motherfuckers to get a ring and got 2.
Hey man,
that's kind of
people said the same thing about Dion, man. He was with the San Francisco 49ers 1 year, the next year he was with Dallas Cowboys.
That's crazy because the hill he just ran up in this commercial ain't that far from the house.
You know that wouldn't be on fault. The 49ers didn't offer him a new deal, and they didn't even tell him they weren't going to bring him back. You know how he found out he wasn't going back? In the preseason, when he was playing baseball, but in the preseason, he saw a rookie with his jersey on. That's how he found out that he wasn't gonna be.
I never knew the story. I never knew the story behind that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Gadget.
Wow.
They didn't even tell him. Yep, they didn't even tell him. We're not bringing you back.
That's crazy.
What's the last year? What's the last year Reggie Bush played for the Lions? That's the last year I followed football.
God damn.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I was saying he did 3 wives, had a kid, got married.
Got gray hair now. Reggie Bush got gray hair now.
Right?
He retired and everything since then.
It's not my fault, man. I followed a trash ass team and I just got fed up. I'm like, I can't be a Lions fan no more, and really, I can't be a football fan because I can't just.
It happens, Jay. It happens.
Fuck that.
That's with the Lions.
No shit.
Right. Them niggas was always trash.
Dad, you got some more beats?
My bad, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad.
He got more loops.
Man, that motherfucker, man. Lee Thompson looked like Inspector Gadget from the side and shit.
Man, he play along, man.
That's John B, nigga.
The way his nose look at Inspector Gadget nose.
No.
Wrong song, Wabadi. Adam's son.
Damn, girl, boy.
This motherfucker cooking.
I'm tired of this nigga, man. I'm tired of this nigga.
Right?
Oh.
Benji making dope shit for herself.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to have the conversation I want to have about what's the end game with these beats Davenport be making.
Uh-oh. There we go.
No, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Davenport
you already did it.
He lost, man. So every time
y'all sign this man.
I mean, are you really surprised, though?
Davenport be hoarding this shit.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. I ain't even gonna do. I'm done. I'm done with that.
I'm gonna come out with a midnight, a sudden midnight release, a 7-track rap album produced by Davenport.
Whatever.
Yeah, they not at home.
They booing them, ain't they?
Yeah, my wife said they booing, ain't they? I'm like, shit, they not at home. Yeah, they booing them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
man,
you don't get praised away from the house.
They ain't gonna say good sports, guys. Congratulations.
Damn, well, they won't be going to the White House. They already said it.
Yeah, your boy Adrian already said that.
I'm glad they ain't going.
Anybody that don't want the owner, all in the videos, making comments, trading your second best player. Come to Golden State.
How you gonna uninvite somebody out there already said they ain't coming?
Right. You ain't coming anyway, Jack.
I told you we ain't coming. Yeah.
That's what egotistical people do.
It was some people that was going. I think it was like 5 people from the Eagles that was going, and most of them was like administration.
and the guy that got hurt.
Yeah, one player and like a couple of coaches and some administration people.
That's sad, man.
That makes me want to be an Eagles fan.
I was about to say, don't fuck around and drop that joint.
It can't feel as good though. You done came to a team. You just you joined a team that was 77-5, nigga, before you got there. And now you talking about Kevin Durant. Yeah, dog. That's kind of.
It feels good when you got that ring on your finger.
Yeah, I guess it do. I mean,
the thing about it is
we apply our bullshit to people.
Some people not tailor made to be the man or whatever. I remember when Pau Gasol got here, man, and to Memphis or whatever. And I recall my father-in-law telling me, he said, "Man, that boy, that ain't no star. They keep trying to make him out to be a star, but that boy ain't no star." I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "Man, that dude, he'll be a good second banana, but as far as the star of a team, he ain't built for that." And
he was mad finesse now.
Yeah, lo and behold, man, they got him out west, man, and with my father. I started to see what my father-in-law was talking about.
Mm-hmm. I bet Gadget glad basketball season over there.
Nah, man, because there's always golf.
We still live.
Nigga be talking about what putters niggas using and shit.
Now, if I come on this motherfucker one day and it's all golf talk, I'm logging the fuck off.
Don't do that. Hey, y'all, let's get up on our golf game.
Gadget was with into the 76ers.
Hold up. Now, if y'all want to go play golf, I'll go play golf. I know how to play golf, nigga.
Oh, okay.
I'll be hitting line drive in the driving range.
My putt game is fire, nigga. My putting game is fire. My drive game is ass.
I can't drive with shit.
I be in the trees off the tee.
Damn. Shaking shit out the mother.
Shaking the shit out the ball. My shit. Hey, every time I hit the ball, it look like a goddamn C in the air. Just,
damn.
Curve to the right, nigga.
I know I'm late, man, but y'all heard it.
Damn, where y'all rank Kerr for his basketball career?
Man, he got a lot of rings, man. A lot of hardware.
Who gives a fuck
about
her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of hardware.
I don't know.
The same people who give a fuck about Phil Jackson.
And he in the business of winning championships wherever he go.
He was in college, man.
Yep.
He was in Arizona.
Now with the Bulls, the Spurs,
that's like saying, well, why do we care about Brad Daugherty? Like,
who is that?
Oh my God!
Exactly.
Oh shit!
He was a Cavs great, man. Number 4
with Nance, man.
NASCAR.
I was thinking about the dude from what was that joint?
What's up, Dad?
90210. What was his name?
What up, Webber?
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. Nah, I thought it was another dude.
Oh, you talking the woman, Shannon Doherty?
Oh, Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty. That's a girl.
Yeah.
She was a whore.
She was on 90210.
I wonder if they were there.
R.P. to Anthony Bourdain, man. That's crazy.
They not spell the same. And plus, if they were related,
I don't know them motherfuckers.
Her family owned him.
Y'all act like we went to grade school together. I don't know them bitches.
They probably a slave master.
Hey, man, y'all listen to that Pop Duke yet, man?
Hey, which one?
Yeah, that shit fire. That shit fire. I fuck with it.
Is it?
I just
hey, R.P. to Anthony Bourdain, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what, man?
I give it to Durant though. I give it to Durant because the fact that realizing you're not gonna get what you was trying to get out of the squad that you with, and it winded up becoming a competition. You don't need that amongst your team.
Man, damn Russell Westbrook, man.
Whatever with that nigga.
with Durant?
Oh, George about to bounce. It's gonna be just him.
How you say that?
Fuck that. Stay with your team and win a championship.
He wasn't winning that with Westbrook. That dude.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody.
Team. Westbrook's a cancer, man.
But not a teammate.
Hey, Hitler wears Hermes drop tonight. Fuck off. All right, the Cavs lost.
Oh shit.
Nobody gives a fuck no more.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
The whole collection dropped.
Damn, he turned the beat on.
Every time y'all start talking about it, I'm gonna play a beat, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Hey, Dad, before you do that, hold on. Before you do that, hold on. Fuck LeBron. Go ahead now.
Oh.
That motherfucker LeBron made his rounds like an old uncle and shit. Even the cookout. All right, now y'all stay up now. I ain't boiling ribs.
Uncle Harvey didn't put mustard in his ribs.
Oh shit. Get some vinegar, cook down that fat.
Hey,
That's over.
hip.
Right? Hip.
Hat. Hollywood.
That'd be hard.
Shit, let's keep talking about LeBron. See what else he got.
Hey, we might get a whole album. Somebody recording that shit? Get out.
Hell yeah.
Whole album out of dog.
This beat tight as shit.
Keep dreaming, nigga.
Fuck LeBron.
Hey, that beat was very nice.
That shit was crazy.
Hey, you still going?
I don't even do beats no more after that shit.
Give me
why are you holding out, brother?
Shit, you ain't lying, bro.
And then
that was
man, then he ain't going to Nova Scotia either, man. Shit.
Oh, you not going?
That was me. That was me, Gadget.
That was hers.
Oh shit. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. I wish my shit.
No, but hold up.
You know what? Fuck Nova Scotia. We should go to Wyoming.
You
Wow.
You not coming to Cali?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
Oh shit.
I'm trying to pull off some shit at the lab, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to make Cali.
Okay.
I got a family reunion. It's just, that shit is just way too close, man. I couldn't move some shit like that.
Inspector Gadget knows having that.
Fuck your family, nigga. We your family.
Knows having that.
I was bad too, man. Shit.
Hold on. This nigga dropped 5 mixtapes tonight?
Who?
West Side Gun. Hitler Wears Hermes is 5 mixtapes?
Damn.
4 mixtapes.
Damn. That's even it's
still.
Yeah.
Damn.
What you doing, Durant?
7-song format, so they're gonna just be dropping shit. They just dropped like 5.
Yo, their Def Jam debut better not be whack. No.
Well,
it's executive produced by Just Blaze.
Oh,
okay.
So I mean, what's his face album wasn't that bad? What's it? Saigon.
Mm-hmm.
Saigon album wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just came out 6 years too late.
Right. Saigon's been a long time.
No, for real, because the Kanye beat on there was dated. If that beat had came out when Kanye was super hot,
Kev gonna cry this year.
He would have made some noise with that album, but I mean it came and went.
Mm-hmm. What the bars sound like though?
Oh, Saigon's album?
Yeah.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire. I mean, Saigon ain't no fucking bad rapper.
Right.
That look real. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna stop right there. I just saw this pause-worthy shit ever, yo. Come on, Klay Thompson.
Dave, you ain't never heard Saigon rap?
Come on, say it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, this motherfucker.
Wow, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he held the trophy, but he ran over and kissed that joint on the top. I was like, hold on, man. This dude holding the trophy between his legs, man. Don't do that. Man, and like, oh, man, that was not the move, yo. Man, this shit, hey, bro, I can't. Y'all done scarred a nigga, man. That motherfucker Klay Thompson said, wow. I was like, yo, what did he just do?
Man, maybe 5.
Oh, what did he just do? Oh man, I ain't never been that happy. Fuck that. Yo. Man, yo, I ain't just see him do that, man. He just did that shit, yo. If anybody who record, man, I know ain't nobody recording the game. Oh my god, yo. That was the most pause-worthy shit ever, yo.
Him and his wife, I know they somewhere gloating like a mother.
Yeah, they had Brenda's bagels and what, man?
Yeah, bagels and barbecue. Yeah, Brenda's bagels and barbecue. Shit, say that 5 times fast. God damn.
Oh, that's a real joint?
No, nigga. No, it ain't. Nigga, no.
Yeah, I know they somewhere. Yeah, damn, bro. We ain't have a chance, bro. Well, man. I think if we had won game 1, I ain't gonna say we would have won.
Might have been.
Game 3 told the story because it was like, all right, at home you got the momentum, man. Them motherfuckers, they took their lunch money out that motherfucker.
He took their soul out of game 1. It was a wrap.
Run your pocket.
I mean, you saw it. You saw it at the at tip off with this game.
Yeah.
Like, man, these motherfuckers.
LeBron in the huddle, man, that was enough for me, but he was done.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, what the fuck? What the fuck is Brenda?
Coach?
What the fuck is Brenda's barbecue sauce and bagels? What the fuck?
What I tell you? What I tell you he was gonna do? Tell him he was gonna come on after and shit. He probably got one of the shirts and shit already. They were selling shirts where you was at.
Let's say goodnight to the chat.
Peace.
Good night to the chat.
Yeah.
Right. Peace, I can't get you on the chat.
Rack. Huh?
I saw DJ Rack in there. I forget who.
DS Filter. Davenport.
I was about to say, how the fuck you saying peace, RTO? You need to speak to them in the chat first and say what's up, shit.
I did say what's up earlier.
He was in the chat.
Nah, I'm fucking with him.
Bless Girl, Dr. Spark, Mac Chevy, Smack, whatever.
Damn.
Damn, that's a disregard for your ass right there.
Man, that shit went left quickly.